Hi everyone, please subscribe to my channel. Blood Immortal Venerable. See playlist for other chapters and novels. Join now our Telegram channel now and enjoy exclusive early access. t.me/blood_immortal_official. I do not translate the novels. Credits goes to original translator and author of the novel. I only make it as an audiobook so it would be easier to just listen while doing other things. Credits goes to the author of the novel. I convert stories to audiobook for mental health, for multitasking purpose, for accessibility and time saving. Listening to audiobook is also beneficial for people who have disability. It improves our listening skills and improve our English comprehension, vocabulary and other things. So, thank you for listening. Thank you and thank you very much for your support. Chapter 381, The Theory of Destiny, The Battle of Heavenly Prides. The Heavenly Pride Conference, a major announcement. Yi Tian looked at this notification from the Heavenly Pride Pavilion with confusion. However, the conference was to be held in the virtual world of the Heavenly Pride Pavilion on Silver Universe Star, so naturally, Yi Tian would not miss it. The next day, the conference was about to begin. Yi Tian, along with many other Heavenly Prides, entered the virtual world of the Heavenly Pride Pavilion and was directly teleported to the conference hall in the virtual world. However, not all the Heavenly Prides were present. After all, many Heavenly Prides were not on Silver Universe Star, and some were in deep seclusion, not noticing the notification from the Heavenly Pride Pavilion. Yi Tian roughly counted, and there were nearly 200 Heavenly Prides attending the conference. This was the first time Yi Tian had encountered so many Heavenly Prides, and the virtual world of the Heavenly Pride Pavilion could replicate talents, so he checked the talents of others. Soon, Yi Tian became somewhat excited. Another Dawn-level palm technique talent, copy. Yi Tian copied this Dawn-level palm technique talent. Now, he could be said to have gathered all he needed. Once he integrated this Dawn-level palm technique talent, his palm technique talent could transform into supreme level. As for other talents, Yi Tian was not interested. And the Hong-level cultivation talent that Yi Tian was most looking forward to was not present. The highest talent among these Heavenly Prides was only at the Desolate level cultivation talent. The martial arts level of the Milky Way was still too low, making it difficult to give birth to Hong level or higher cultivation talents. Suddenly, a person appeared at the conference, whose powerful soul pressure let all the Heavenly Prides know that this person was a very powerful being. Hello, I am Changqing, a senior member of the Heavenly Pride Pavilion, and I am in charge of starting this conference, said Great God Changqing. Great God Changqing, it's him. Yi Tian's expression shifted. This Great God Changqing was a very remarkable figure. Even in the entire Silver Universe Star, he was one of the top overlords. Great God Changqing was once a peerless Heavenly Pride and has now stepped into the rank of a great god. One can imagine how terrifying his strength is. Great God Changqing was one of the several elders of Silver Universe Star Heavenly Pride Pavilion, holding a lot of decision-making power. Many Heavenly Prides did not expect such a powerful god to start the Heavenly Pride Conference. What kind of major event had happened? Greetings to Great God Changqing. Greetings to Great God Changqing. Greetings to Great God Changqing. Many Heavenly Prides greeted Great God Changqing in unison. No need to be so polite. I have limited time. Let me directly tell you the content of the conference, said Great God Changqing very solemnly. All the Heavenly Prides listened intently, and the whole venue quieted down. This conference is related to the Pan-Star Field. You should have some understanding of the Pan-Star Field, right? Great God Changqing suddenly said. The mention of the Pan-Star Field made everyone's pupils contract, and they were all shocked. Naturally, they knew about the Pan-Star Field. The Milky Way was part of the Pan-Star Field. There were many galaxies in the vast universe, and the Milky Way was one of countless galaxies. Many of such galaxies formed a star field. The Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy, and many other galaxies formed a massive star field, the Pan-Star Field. In the center of the Pan-Star Field was a place called the Eternal Pan Galaxy. In that place, even God-level powerhouses dare not act recklessly. Planetary-level powerhouses could only barely be considered strong, and galaxy-level powerhouses were qualified to be the overlords of that place. A galaxy-level powerhouse was enough to sweep through the Milky Way, an invincible existence. Yet there were quite a few galaxy-level powerhouses in the Pan-Star Field. This showed the strength of the Pan-Star Field. Many of the Heavenly Prides present had not even been to other galaxies, let alone expect this conference to involve the Pan-Star Field. Although the Heavenly Prides had countless questions, they did not interrupt Great God Changqing and continued to listen. Great God Changqing continued, the Pan star field is very vast, and our Milky Way is just a relatively weak galaxy in the Pan star field. Not long ago, several overlord-level powers in the Pan star field prepared to initiate the Battle of Heavenly Prides, which will affect the entire Pan star field. Once the Battle of Heavenly Prides begins, no Heavenly Pride can avoid it. That is unless they really hide away, not communicating with the outside world, or stay hidden within their power's headquarters. Regarding the Battle of Heavenly Prides, I have never participated in it either. In our era, the Battle of Heavenly Prides was never initiated. You encountering the Battle of Heavenly Prides could be considered both your luck and your misfortune. Great God Changqing, what exactly is the Battle of Heavenly Prides? A Heavenly Pride couldn't help but ask. Great God Changqing explained, the so-called Battle of Heavenly Prides is a grand war that spans the entire star field, where Heavenly Prides gather to cultivate a child of the universe. The concept of destiny has existed since ancient times, and Heavenly Prides, being favored and blessed by the universe, naturally possess a significant amount of destiny. Once the Battle of Heavenly Prides begins, defeating other Heavenly Prides allows one to obtain a portion of their destiny. Through countless battles without defeat, one can gather an immense amount of destiny. At the end of the Battle of Heavenly Prides, the Heavenly Prides with the richest destiny will have the opportunity to enter a grand opportunity site arranged by those overlord forces. Only under the influence of such dense destiny and with the help of this great opportunity can one hope to break through their bottleneck and ascend to become a child of the universe. I see. Yi Tian's expression turned serious. Didn't this mean that the weaker Heavenly Prides would become targets of bullying? And the exchanges among Heavenly Prides could easily lead to casualties. God-level and above powerhouses were not allowed to intervene in the Battle of Heavenly Prides, so the weaker Heavenly Prides were very likely to die at the hands of stronger ones. For the powerful Heavenly Prides, this was undoubtedly a huge opportunity, potentially obtaining the qualifications to become a child of the universe. However, for the weaker ones, it was a disaster. Instantly, those 1-star, 2-star, and even 3-star Heavenly Prides were all extremely fearful, afraid of becoming stepping stones for others. If one wanted to avoid the Battle of Heavenly Prides, they would have to forever hide within their power's headquarters, enduring the ridicule of other Heavenly Prides without venturing out. But in doing so, where would their dignity be? Great God Changqing then suggested, I recommend that those Heavenly Prides who lack sufficient strength or potential should not linger at the Emperor level any longer. Go directly for the God level. This way, you can easily avoid the Battle of Heavenly Prides. Otherwise, once the Battle of Heavenly Prides begins, powerful Heavenly Prides from other galaxies might cross galaxies to come here. And with our Milky Way being weaker, the nearby stronger galaxies might consider the Milky Way an easy target. Hearing Great God Changqing's words, many Heavenly Prides' expressions changed several times, and they soon made their decisions. Yi Tian guessed that most Heavenly Prides would probably give up on the Battle of Heavenly Prides and directly choose to strive for the God level. Of course, many Heavenly Prides would probably wait and see. For Yi Tian, this Battle of Heavenly Prides was undoubtedly a great opportunity. Exchanging moves with countless Heavenly Prides, not only could he copy many impressive talents, but he could also gain astonishing destiny, aiding his assault on the title of Child of the Universe. Once one's strength reaches the 9-star Peerless Heavenly Pride level, breaking through the 20th physical limit, that would qualify as a Child of the Universe. And Yi Tian, being an 8-star Peerless Heavenly Pride, having broken through the 19th physical limit, was only one step away. Thus, he had a great chance of becoming a Child of the Universe in this Battle of Heavenly Prides. Those who want to participate in the Battle of Heavenly Prides stay, others can log off and leave. Great God Changqing said. Whoosh, one by one, the Heavenly Prides logged off, leaving only over 50 Heavenly Prides. Clearly, those 100 or so Heavenly Prides had given up on the Battle of Heavenly Prides. Not bad, I thought not many would stay. Great God Changqing said with a smile. If you are willing to participate in the Battle of Heavenly Prides, the Milky Way will naturally not withhold its help. This time, all forces within the Milky Way have decided to grant a great opportunity to the Heavenly Prides participating in the Battle of Heavenly Prides. As for how much you can gain, that depends on yourselves. Great God Changqing's words excited the remaining dozens of Heavenly Prides. An opportunity deemed significant by Great God Changqing was definitely not ordinary. Great God Changqing, what kind of opportunity is it? Heavenly Pride Thunderling couldn't help but ask. Great God Changqing said, this opportunity is the Divine Tomb. Divine Tomb. The Heavenly Prides were all puzzled, not knowing what the Divine Tomb was. But judging by the name, the Divine Tomb should be a burial ground. Could it be the burial ground of fallen gods? But how could that be considered a great opportunity? Amidst the puzzled looks of many heavenly prides, great god Changqing began to explain this so-called divine tomb. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel YTIM Premium, link to Patreon. Chapter 382, The Divine Tomb World, Thousands of Heavenly Prides. Great god Changqing began to explain, the divine tomb is the grave in an alternate dimension of many god-level beings, including even the tombs of planetary-level powerhouses. Graveyard, alternate dimension. As great god Changqing continued his narration, everyone began to understand more about the divine tomb. It turned out that in the ancient world, the divine tomb was a realm, vast in size and with very peculiar rules, somewhat like the legendary rules of hell. Inside the world of the divine tomb, the aura of the undead was particularly strong, making it suitable as a burial ground. Moreover, gods yearned for resurrection after death, thus turning the divine tomb into a world of hope. According to legends, the divine tomb could preserve the imprints of the gods indefinitely, offering a chance for resurrection in the future. Whether this legend was true remained unknown, as so far, no god-level being or planetary-level powerhouse had been resurrected. However, the enduring imprints of the god-level beings' wills were real. Their wills could exist for countless years, though they were unconscious imprints, but at least they proved their existence. Of course, since the divine tomb world was so special, not just anyone could enter. Only god-level beings could place their remains in the graveyard. Over countless years, many god-level powerhouses at the end of their lifespans or those who were fatally injured chose to enter the divine tomb world to construct their own graves and rest there eternally. One could imagine how many tombs of god-level and planetary-level powerhouses the divine tomb world contained. And as many gods passed away, they would leave behind gifts for future generations. They set conditions for certain heavenly prides, and those who met these conditions would receive their gifts. However, many major powers in the Milky Way rarely opened the divine tomb, as they disliked the idea of later generations disturbing the eternal rest of their predecessors. But this time, with the battle of heavenly prides about to begin, they decided to open the divine tomb world. After all, the divine tomb world was full of opportunities, and if the heavenly prides obtained astonishing fortunes, their strength might greatly increase, adding to the chances of victory in the upcoming battle of heavenly prides and bringing fame to the Milky Way. In this way, the Milky Way wouldn't lose face. Otherwise, if the heavenly prides from the Milky Way were defeated too miserably, it would be equivalent to a slap in the face of their own powers. The divine tomb world is not a place to stay for long. The aura of the undead there is very strong. If you stay too long, it could erode your physical body. Many years ago, we once opened the divine tomb world, but some heavenly prides were too greedy and ended up being eroded by the aura of the undead and died, turning into undead themselves. Great god Changqing warned. The heavenly prides took this to heart and remembered this warning. In 10 days, I will personally take you into the divine tomb world. Gather at the headquarters of the heavenly pride pavilion in 10 days. After saying this, great god Changqing disappeared. And Yi Tian logged out as well. I am really looking forward to the battle of heavenly prides. Yi Tian muttered to himself. At the same time, he was also looking forward to the upcoming divine tomb world, wondering if he could obtain a great fortune there. At that moment, Yi Tian did not forget to integrate and copy the Dawn-level palm technique talent he had acquired. Soon, the integration of the Dawn-level palm technique talent was successful, and Yi Tian's palm technique talent underwent a transformation. Palm technique talent, supreme level. His palm technique talent reached the supreme level, and in the future, Yi Tian's speed in comprehending the palm Dao would increase by many times. 10 days passed quickly. On this day, Yi Tian arrived at the headquarters of the Heavenly Pride Pavilion on Silver Universe Star. At that time, he found that there were many more Heavenly Prides, not just the few dozen from the other day. The other Heavenly Prides must have been those who were not on Silver Universe Star before but were prepared to participate in the Battle of Heavenly Prides, totaling over 80. Soon after the Heavenly Prides gathered, Great God Changqing appeared. Let's go. With a wave of Great God Changqing's hand, everyone found themselves outside of Silver Universe Star. This ability to change one's environment was astonishing, causing many Heavenly Prides to marvel silently. So powerful, Yi Tian thought to himself. He sensed the change in space, having a space talent after all. Although Great God Changqing's shifting of their location could not be hidden from him, he could not resist it. After all, his strength was far too inferior compared to Great God Changqing's. There were countless realms between them. Great God Changqing's method was not a talent in space, but rather using powerful force to envelop everyone and move through space, which required immense strength. It seemed very sophisticated, but in reality, it was easily disrupted and not very useful. Board the cosmic spaceship. With a casual wave of his hand, Great God Changqing made a massive cosmic spaceship appear. A 6-star cosmic spaceship. Yi Tian was slightly taken aback. Great God Changqing, a terrifying figure among even great gods, had brought out a 6-star cosmic spaceship with a mere gesture. Yi Tian's excitement about acquiring a cosmic spaceship dissipated somewhat in light of this. Compared to the 6-star cosmic spaceship, his 5-star cosmic spaceship was undoubtedly inferior. Of course, a 5-star cosmic spaceship was still something countless emperors and even gods dreamed of possessing. Whoosh, one after another, emperors entered the 6-star cosmic spaceship, which soon set off. In less than a minute, the spaceship came to a halt. They had arrived at the divine tomb world. Yi Tian stepped out from the 6-star cosmic spaceship and saw many heavenly prides. Including the 9 major planets and other regions of the Milky Way, the number of heavenly prides entering the divine tomb world this time was estimated to be nearly or over 1,000. 1,000 heavenly prides, what an astonishing number. But considering the vastness of the Milky Way, with tens of thousands of planetary systems, where on average not even one heavenly pride could emerge from a single system, and most heavenly prides came from the 9 major planets, this number was not small. However, most heavenly prides would not participate in the battle of heavenly prides. Those heavenly prides would soon no longer be considered such, becoming demigods or gods instead. Thus, these heavenly prides would be the only ones left in the Milky Way in the future. With so many heavenly prides, I should be able to copy some good talents. What Yi Tian looked forward to the most was a Hong-level cultivation talent. Unfortunately, those with Hong-level cultivation talent were too rare. Even Great God Changqing only had Desolate-level cultivation talent. But it made sense. If Great God Changqing had a Hong-level cultivation talent, given his age and talent, he would have stepped into the planetary-level powerhouse realm long ago and wouldn't have remained at the god level. Now, Yi Tian hoped to copy another Hong-level cultivation talent. Enter that planet. The divine tomb world is on that planet. Great God Changqing pointed to a nearby planet. Many heavenly prides looked over and saw that the planet was devoid of life and filled with a gray aura, representing the aura of death. It was probably only on such a desolate planet that the miraculous divine tomb world could exist. Swoosh, one by one, the heavenly prides flew to that planet. After arriving on the planet, Yi Tian began to copy talents. Wow, a vast array of talent information appeared before Yi Tian. Immediately, Yi Tian, through filtering, found that there indeed was one with Hong-level cultivation talent. Moreover, Yi Tian discovered that this person with Hong-level cultivation talent also possessed other strong talents. This person had not only broken through the 18th physical limit but also possessed various god-level cultivation talents. Mu Tong. Yi Tian looked at the name and tried to recall, but found that he had never heard of this heavenly pride's name before. Yi Tian had been on Silver Universe Star for several years and was familiar with many heavenly pride's names, even those from other major stars and powerful heavenly prides in the Milky Way. But this heavenly pride's name was completely unfamiliar to him. Could it be that this person was not previously in the Milky Way? Yi Tian speculated. Immediately, he sent a telepathic message to Thunderling Heavenly Pride. Thunderling Heavenly Pride, do you recognize that heavenly pride? As Yi Tian inquired, his gaze shifted towards Mu Tong. Thunderling Heavenly Pride noticed the direction of Yi Tian's gaze and immediately knew who Yi Tian was asking about, so he said, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, that 7-star peerless Heavenly Pride Jin Guang Heavenly Pride. Jin Guang Heavenly Pride left the Milky Way a long time ago and has only now returned, so it's normal for you not to recognize him. As expected, Yi Tian had already guessed as much in his heart. He knew there were 2 7-star peerless heavenly prides in the Milky Way. Sure enough, this Mu Tong was one of the 7-star heavenly prides. Hong-level cultivation talent, copy. Yi Tian copied Mu Tong's Hong-level cultivation talent, feeling extremely excited. He couldn't wait to integrate it immediately, but considering the many heavenly prides and gods present, he suppressed the urge to integrate right away. Then, Yi Tian continued to check the talents of others. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel YTIM Premium, link to Patreon. Chapter 383, Cosmic Level Cultivation Talent. Yi Tian discovered that the cultivation talents of these heavenly prides were mostly at the supreme and desolate levels. Additionally, there were many with swordsmanship and sword technique talents, followed by spear technique, boxing, and palm technique talents. Claw technique talents were less common, while leg techniques and finger techniques were even rarer. Yi Tian's sword technique and palm technique talents were already at the supreme level, and since there were no heavenly prides with supreme level sword or palm technique talents, it was unnecessary to copy their dawn level talents, as it would be a waste. However, he was very interested in claw technique talents. But there was only one with a dawn level claw technique talent, so Yi Tian copied their dawn level claw technique talent. Besides these talents, Yi Tian also discovered several decent auxiliary talents. Among them, Yi Tian was most satisfied with a soul talent, not an offensive soul talent, but a defensive one, the top-level soul armor talent. This talent could amplify soul defense by 20 times. Coupled with the defensive effects of a soul treasure, it could provide absolute protection for the soul, making it very difficult to harm. Yi Tian had encountered offensive soul talents before, but this was his first time encountering a defensive soul talent. Therefore, he did not hesitate to copy the top-level soul armor talent. Additionally, the God-level wood shield talent was also good. This was a wood attribute talent, but a defensive one, capable of significantly increasing defensive power. Yi Tian copied it too, so that he could use it in the future along with the God-level iron armor talent as a defensive measure. Although Yi Tian had many defensive measures, who would complain about having too many? Time passed, and Yi Tian along with the other heavenly prides were silently waiting on this star. Suddenly, countless deathly auras on the star converged, creating a tumultuous scene. Crack! The void split open, revealing a massive portal in front of everyone. This portal was a giant bone gate, emitting a gloomy aura that made one's skin crawl. At that moment, the voices of God-level powerhouses descended. The divine tomb world is open. Enter, but remember you can only stay for a maximum of 1 year, otherwise the deathly aura of the divine tomb world will completely destroy your physical bodies. The numerous heavenly prides took note and flew into the divine tomb world one after another. Yi Tian passed through the giant bone gate and entered the divine tomb world. Upon entering, he felt an intense concentration of deathly aura, many times denser than the deathly aura on the outer star. No wonder it's called a hell world. The density of deathly aura here is completely different from the world of the living. Yi Tian exclaimed. At this moment, the other heavenly prides flew off in different directions. Without the tombs, no one would stay here. Yi Tian also chose a direction and not long after, found a secluded spot to begin integrating the talents he had copied earlier. The first talent he wanted to integrate was the Hong-level cultivation talent. He had long wanted to integrate this talent, but due to the presence of too many people before, he hadn't had the opportunity. Now that he was in the divine tomb world, he was eager to begin. Hong-level cultivation talent, integrate. Instantly, the Hong-level cultivation talent merged with Yi Tian's own. Originally, Yi Tian had already integrated a Hong-level cultivation talent, and now he had integrated another one, so his cultivation talent finally began to evolve again. Boom! Intense pain struck, and Yi Tian almost bit his teeth to pieces. After a long time, the pain subsided. At this moment, Yi Tian eagerly checked his cultivation talent. Cultivation talent. Cosmic level. Cosmic level cultivation talent. From desolate to Hong to cosmic. Could it be that the next level is universal? It seems to be the case. Yi Tian murmured. After resting for a while, Yi Tian began to integrate the soul armor talent and the god level wood shield talent. Soon, the soul armor talent and the god wood shield talent were successfully integrated. Then, he set off to search for the tombs of great god or planetary level powerhouses. Before long, a tomb appeared in front of him, but aside from him, about a dozen other heavenly prides also spotted the tomb and flew down. Heavenly pride of 10,000 laws. The dozen heavenly prides, upon seeing Yi Tian, greeted him with reverence. However, they did not leave. Although everyone had seen this tomb, whether one could obtain the chance left by the tomb's owner depended on luck and whether one met the requirements. Otherwise, even if one's strength was formidable, it was impossible to gain the opportunity. Yi Tian glanced at the tomb, which was in the shape of a giant Buddha. In front of the Buddha was a huge tombstone, which recorded the origins and deeds of the tomb's owner. Mioi Great God, Yi Tian murmured. From the introduction on the tombstone of the Mioi Great God, it was learned that the Great God was a Buddhist cultivator, a Great God powerhouse from Silver Buddha Star. And this Great God also left behind a requirement for the test. Those who possess a heart inclined towards Buddhism may take the test and receive the opportunity I bestow. This was a phrase on the back of the tombstone. How can one test for a heart inclined towards Buddhism? A heavenly pride frowned. But he rushed towards the giant Buddha regardless, trying to enter its interior directly. At that moment, a formation barrier stopped him, he couldn't enter at all. Yi Tian also tried, but he couldn't enter the interior of the giant Buddha either. Moreover, even if one could enter, one wouldn't dare to. How could a great god powerhouse not set up a killing formation in his tomb before death? If one forcibly entered, even a true god might not be able to survive. Let this humble monk give it a try. The only Buddhist cultivator among the dozen or so heavenly prides spoke up. This Buddhist cultivator was not very strong, merely a 3-star heavenly pride. He walked towards the giant Buddha step by step with his hands clasped together. Boom! A towering Buddha shadow appeared on the giant Buddha, enveloping this part of the world. Instantly, a ray of Buddha light wrapped around this Buddhist cultivator. In the next moment, the Buddhist cultivator disappeared, presumably taken for the test. A heart inclined towards Buddhism, this is obviously prepared for Buddhist cultivators, it has nothing to do with us. Yi Tian shook his head and left the place, and the other heavenly prides also left one after another. The divine tomb world was full of countless opportunities. Why force oneself for an opportunity that didn't belong to oneself? In the following days, Yi Tian encountered many tombs, but undoubtedly, he did not meet the requirements for any of them. It was really because some of the requirements left by the great god powerhouses were specific. They obviously didn't want outsiders to gain the opportunity, preferring to leave it for their own descendants or sect disciples. Some great god powerhouses were even selfish, not leaving behind any opportunity at all, just establishing a tomb that left others helpless. Therefore, finding an opportunity that belonged to oneself was not an easy task. One day, Yi Tian came across another huge tomb, which was shaped like a giant tower, with a tombstone in front of the tower as well. Invincible Sword God. Yi Tian looked at the tombstone, seeing the unyielding realm of sword art, as if it had traversed countless years, that sword still crushing through time and space. The Invincible Sword God was a great god powerhouse, and he left behind an opportunity. Release your sword realm, and the test will present itself. Yi Tian saw this and released his own sword realm. Boom! A sword realm enveloped this part of the world. In an instant, the environment changed, as another terrifying sword realm descended, colliding with Yi Tian's sword realm. This was a pure collision of sword realms. Yi Tian's sword realm was as high as 55%, not weak at all. Even many god-level powerhouses who used sword techniques were not as good as Yi Tian in sword realm. Because the sword realm was correlated to one's sword technique talent, if the sword technique talent was low, even after cultivating for millions of years, it would be impossible to raise the sword realm. This was the helplessness of many sword wielders. Boom! The collision between the two sword realms was intense. The opponent's sword realm was purer, more ancient, and more powerful. But Yi Tian's sword realm was not much weaker, barely managing to contend with the opponent. Time passed by. If it were another heavenly pride with a sword realm, they definitely couldn't have held on, but Yi Tian persisted. An hour passed, 2 hours passed, 3 hours passed. After a full 5 hours, the opponent's sword realm suddenly dissipated, and Yi Tian felt an immense relief, taking a deep breath. Test passed, you can obtain an 8-star wondrous object, the ancient sword steel. Chapter 384, The Great Flame Extinguishing Hand, Minor Accomplishment Realm. An 8-star wondrous object, the ancient sword steel. Yi Tian was utterly stunned, his face a picture of shock. This was the 8-star wondrous object, the ancient sword steel, a treasure of the same caliber as the heavenly sword steel of the heavenly sword secret realm. Its value was unimaginable. Many true gods longed to enter the heavenly sword secret realm for its benefits. But now, he had actually obtained the 8-star wondrous object, the ancient sword steel. Didn't this mean that he could, from now on, be equivalent to cultivating in the heavenly sword secret realm at all times? The invincible sword god must have had no sect, otherwise, he would have left such a treasure within his sect before death, rather than bringing it into his tomb and setting up a test to bestow it upon a later generation. Yi Tian pondered. It had to be said, the invincible sword god was truly generous, even bestowing such a treasure upon later generations. Boom! The void trembled. A giant sword steel, hundreds of meters tall, appeared in front of Yi Tian. It was indeed the ancient sword steel. Looking at this ancient sword steel, Yi Tian felt an aura similar to that of the heavenly sword steel, both belonging to the same level of treasures. Collect. Yi Tian effortlessly took the ancient sword steel into his Zumi storage realm, finally feeling at ease. In this trip into the divine tomb world, just getting this ancient sword steel is a huge gain. Yi Tian thought with a smile on his face. The test was over, and the treasure was taken. Yi Tian found himself back in front of the tombstone in the graveyard. "Thank you, Senior Invincible Sword God." Yi Tian expressed his gratitude. Then, he prepared to leave. At this moment, the tomb of the Invincible Sword God trembled slightly, and a will of the sword burst forth from the void, seemingly responding to Yi Tian. Seeing this, Yi Tian was slightly surprised. Is this the residual will of the Invincible Sword God? A pity it has no self-awareness. The Invincible Sword God is still dead and cannot be revived. Yi Tian did not linger and left the place. In the following months, Yi Tian encountered many gravesites. Although most had no opportunities, he still found some in certain gravesites. However, these opportunities were not very valuable, mostly consisting of cultivation resources and weapons. What satisfied Yi Tian more was that he obtained a lower-grade divine artifact level sword, which greatly helped him and could enhance the power of his sword techniques. In addition, he also acquired several Yuan Force defense secret techniques and several divine power defense secret techniques. Unfortunately, these Yuan Force and divine power defense secret techniques were of little use to him, not even comparable to the Dark Scales demon body technique. Of course, these items, if brought out, would be enough to drive many emperors mad. Regrettably, Yi Tian had obtained many opportunities before, and his strength had reached the level of an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, so there were not many opportunities that could catch his eye. One day, as Yi Tian was flying in the sky, he suddenly saw a sea of fire rising in the distance. In the sea of fire phenomenon, a figure stood there, its aura as if it had frozen billions of times, standing there like an invincible existence from ancient times. So powerful, even from a great distance, Yi Tian could feel the strength of this person, no, the strength of this will. This was clearly a manifestation of will. Someone had triggered the gravesite of that terrifying existence, causing the will to manifest. The will was so powerful that it affected such a far range, allowing Yi Tian to see it. Let's go take a look. Yi Tian quickly flew over. Soon, Yi Tian arrived at the destination, where many heavenly prides had also gathered. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws. Micro. Not degree. Many heavenly prides greeted Yi Tian. What's the situation with this gravesite? Yi Tian asked casually. One heavenly pride said, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, this is the gravesite of a level powerhouse, and the Eternal Flame Heavenly Pride from Silver Flame Star triggered the gravesite's test mechanism and succeeded in the test. He is now receiving the opportunity, causing the gravesite owner's will to manifest. Yi Tian stood in front of the tombstone, taking a closer look, and then understood what this so-called test was about. Any emperor with fire attribute divine abilities can take the test. Seeing this line of text, Yi Tian's heart moved. He did have fire attribute divine abilities, which meant he also had the chance to obtain this opportunity. Thus, Yi Tian walked over. The next moment, Yi Tian disappeared. At this time, many heavenly prides were shocked. The Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws has fire attribute divine abilities. I haven't heard of that. Divine abilities are so rare. I didn't even know about them before. If I hadn't come here and heard other heavenly prides mention divine abilities, I would have been completely unaware of them. I can't believe the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, with no significant background, has actually cultivated a fire attribute divine ability. Isn't his main focus supposed to be sword techniques and spatial talents? This is too monstrous. The Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws is a peerless heavenly pride, and it's said to be a 7-star peerless heavenly pride. It's normal for him to be a bit monstrous. I am envious. This is the gravesite of a planetary level powerhouse. The opportunity must be significant. It's a pity we don't have fire attribute divine abilities and can't obtain the opportunity. Let's go. We might as well look for other gravesites. Staying here is just a waste of time. After a while, many heavenly prides left, but many more arrived. At the testing ground, in a void, Yi Tian stood there. Suddenly, a fire attribute law diagram appeared in front of Yi Tian. At the same time, a voice sounded, within 10 days, perfectly comprehend and replicate this fire attribute law diagram, and you will pass the test. Testing my aptitude in the fire attribute laws, huh? Yi Tian smiled slightly. In terms of aptitude, he had a huge advantage. Who else had such a top-tier talent for comprehension? This test was practically cheating for him. Top-tier talent for comprehension, activate. Yi Tian began to comprehend the fire attribute law diagram. This was a rather simple fire attribute law diagram, not profound or mysterious, and with the amplification of Yi Tian's top-tier talent for comprehension, he easily fully understood the diagram. In just a few hours, Yi Tian successfully comprehended the fire attribute law diagram, but he did not immediately replicate it. Instead, he delayed, waiting until a day had passed before replicating the diagram. He did this to avoid shocking others and to keep a low profile. However, if others knew of Yi Tian's achievement, it wouldn't be low-key at all, it was still astonishing. Test successful, you are granted 3 drops of fire attribute origin divine essence. The voice descended once again. Boom, Yi Tian was teleported above a sea of fire. At this time, he saw a heavenly pride sitting in the distance, seemingly refining something. Eternal Flame Heavenly Pride. Yi Tian recognized him. The Eternal Flame Heavenly Pride was not a peerless heavenly pride, just a 5-star heavenly pride. But he also had the hope of stepping into the realm of peerless heavenly prides. Moreover, Yi Tian could feel the power of the fire attribute divine ability on the other party increasing, as if moving towards the realm of peerless heavenly prides. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. 3 drops of fire attribute origin divine essence suddenly flew out from the depths of the sea of fire, landing in front of Yi Tian. At the same time, a wave of information flooded into Yi Tian's mind. This information was about the introduction and uses of the fire attribute origin divine essence. The fire attribute origin divine essence can actually enhance the level of fire attribute divine abilities. Yi Tian was quite surprised. Now, he finally understood why this gravesite's owner only allowed heavenly prides with fire attribute divine abilities to enter, because the reward was prepared for those with fire attribute divine abilities and it was useless for other heavenly prides to come. I never thought that there would be treasures in this world that could enhance the level of fire attribute divine abilities. The value of this fire attribute origin divine essence must be extremely high, perhaps not even possessed by great gods. Yi Tian speculated. He couldn't help but marvel at the wealth of a planetary-level powerhouse, offering such precious treasures so readily. Refine. Yi Tian sat cross-legged and began to refine the 3 drops of fire attribute origin divine essence. According to the information, the fire attribute origin divine essence was very special and difficult to preserve. It could be preserved in this sea of fire, but once taken out, it would quickly return to the natural world. Therefore, to refine the fire attribute origin divine essence, one had to do it here. This was also the reason the Eternal Flame Heavenly Pride had not left. Yi Tian swallowed the 3 drops of fire attribute origin divine essence and activated the Great Flame Extinguishing Hand to absorb the energy of the fire attribute origin divine essence. Boom! The power of the fire attribute origin divine essence gradually infiltrated into the mark of the Great Flame Extinguishing Hand, a fire attribute divine ability. My Great Flame Extinguishing Hand is at the initial stage of divine abilities. I wonder if these 3 drops of fire attribute origin divine essence can elevate it to the minor accomplishment stage. Yi Tian was quite expectant. As time passed, a month flew by in the blink of an eye. On this day, Yi Tian's Great Flame Extinguishing Hand suddenly underwent a transformation. The Great Flame Extinguishing Hand has reached the minor accomplishment stage, its power has increased by several times. Yi Tian was very excited. Moreover, the 3 drops of fire attribute origin divine essence had not been completely consumed and could continue to be refined. So, Yi Tian refined for another month, advancing the Great Flame Extinguishing Hand a little further before the energy of the fire attribute origin divine essence was completely exhausted. Thanks to Muntianu Andre for supporting my work. Chapter 385. Unique Beings of the Divine Tomb World. Cultivating to the minor accomplishment stage of the Great Flame Extinguishing Hand is equivalent to saving many years of hard cultivation. Yi Tian smiled. If he were to cultivate the Great Flame Extinguishing Hand to the minor accomplishment stage himself, he didn't know how long it would take. But now, 3 drops of fire attribute origin divine essence had advanced his Great Flame Extinguishing Hand to the minor accomplishment realm, and even made a small step towards the major accomplishment realm. It could be said that the breakthrough of the Great Flame Extinguishing Hand had slightly improved Yi Tian's strength. By this time, the heavenly pride of Eternal Flame had already left, and Yi Tian departed as well. Whoosh! Coming out of the tomb's fiery space, Yi Tian noticed many envious gazes from other heavenly prides. After all, the opportunity left behind by a planetary-level powerhouse was bound to be extremely precious, and everyone envied that Yi Tian had successfully obtained such an opportunity. Swish! Yi Tian left, paying no attention to these heavenly prides. His time in the divine tomb world was limited, so naturally, he wouldn't waste it. Time passed by. At this point, many weaker heavenly prides were gradually unable to withstand the erosion of the necrotic energy and left the divine tomb world one after another. Yi Tian was also feeling uncomfortable. According to his estimation, he could stay in the divine tomb world for another 5 months. The closer to the core of the divine tomb world, the denser the necrotic energy. Some powerful gods or planetary-level powerhouses also wished to establish their tombs in places with dense necrotic energy, thus there were many tombs in the center of the divine tomb world. However, the heavenly prides were reluctant to enter the center of the divine tomb world because the necrotic energy there was so dense that they wouldn't last long if they ventured deeper. But Yi Tian was no longer satisfied with the opportunities on the outskirts of the divine tomb world. His strength had reached the level of an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, and ordinary opportunities were useful for other heavenly prides but not for him. Therefore, he had to take a risk. Head to the central location of the divine tomb world. Yi Tian decided. Moreover, he had a trump card. He possessed spatial talent, allowing him to phase into space. Although the necrotic energy in the divine tomb world was formidable, it had not reached the extent of invading deep into space. Swish! Yi Tian phased into space and rapidly headed towards the central location of the divine tomb world. Yi Tian was extremely fast, and soon he arrived at the central location of the divine tomb world. However, the situation in the center of the divine tomb world was quite surprising to him. It was a sea, the sea of death. Yi Tian's pupils shrank. This sea was entirely formed by the liquefaction of extremely dense necrotic energy, which showed just how dense the necrotic energy was here. Standing within the space, Yi Tian sent out his divine consciousness, scanning the surroundings. Suddenly, he saw a skeleton. The skeleton had turned into white bones, but from the aura on the bones, it could be inferred that this was an emperor-level being, and not a weak one at that. It must be a heavenly pride. Yi Tian guessed. This was a heavenly pride who died due to the sea, obviously attempting to enter the sea of death. But before he could enter, he was eroded by the dense necrotic energy and died right there. Even I might not be able to last long. Yi Tian's expression was very solemn. Although he possessed the life, healing, and immortality talents, the necrotic energy here was endless. Once his vitality was exhausted, he would also die. However, compared to other heavenly prides, he could last a bit longer. Yi Tian entered the sea of death, but in the manner of phasing through space. He dared not come out, or the countless necrotic energies would overwhelm him, and he estimated he couldn't withstand it. Above the sea of death, the necrotic seawater churned, wave after wave, as if it were a real sea. But Yi Tian was very aware that a single drop of this seawater could kill a heavenly pride. The sea of death was not very large, and soon Yi Tian arrived at the center of the sea of death. At this time, Yi Tian was shocked to discover a tomb. Yes, a very large tomb, built on a giant turtle shell as its foundation, sat atop the sea of death. Lord of Ruins. Through the space, Yi Tian saw the inscription on the tombstone and learned the origin of the owner of this tomb. The Lord of Ruins was the title of the owner of this tomb. According to his own account, he was a galaxy-level powerhouse who had built this tomb on the Sea of Death. If a heavenly pride could reach this place, he would bestow upon them an astonishing opportunity. There was no test. As long as one could arrive here, they could receive the opportunity. Because reaching this place was unimaginably difficult in itself, heavenly pride simply couldn't make it here. To come was to court death. It could even be said that those true gods and great gods would not dare to enter here. The necrotic energy would also devour the flesh of these true gods and great gods. Although their strength was formidable, once they reached the god level, their physical bodies could no longer improve. Generally, beings above the god level didn't even have physical bodies as strong as Yi Tian's. Even if divine bodies were somewhat more resistant to the necrotic energy than emperor-level beings, it was estimated that they would have a hard time resisting the necrotic energy here unless they were determined to face certain death. Because of this, it was estimated that no one knew of the existence of a tomb here. Could it be that the owner of this tomb was looking for an inheritor with an invincible physical body? Yi Tian thought. Other than having an invincible physical body, he couldn't think of anyone else who could reach this place. Even though he had arrived here, he only dared to hide in space and didn't dare to come out at all. This place had the densest necrotic energy in the divine tomb world. He estimated that he would die if he came out. What a pity, the opportunity here must be unimaginable. The Milky Way probably doesn't have any galaxy-level powerhouses now. The Lord of Ruins must have been a heaven-defying existence in the Milky Way from eons ago. How precious the opportunity he bestows must be. Yi Tian sighed, but between opportunity and life, he naturally chose life. Knowing that there wasn't even a 1 in 10,000 chance of success, why would he take the risk? Wouldn't that be seeking death? Yi Tian was preparing to leave, unable to obtain the opportunity here and having to give up. But just as he was about to leave, a sound from the distance caught his attention. It wasn't the sound of sea waves, but the sound of something slapping the water. Registered. Registered. Not registered. There's life. Yi Tian was stunned. Since entering the divine tomb world, he hadn't encountered a single living being because this place was filled with necrotic energy, making it impossible for living beings to survive here. He hadn't sensed it wrong just now. There was definitely a living being that had slapped the necrotic sea water. It was like the scene of a fish slapping in the sea. Yi Tian was excited. If a special being had indeed been nurtured here, then if that special being could survive here, he might be able to find a special talent from it. Zoomy eye. Yi Tian activated the secret technique, the zoomy eye, piercing through space with his gaze towards the sea of death. Immediately, the situation in the surrounding sea area appeared before his eyes. Yi Tian kept searching. Soon, he made a discovery. What is that? Yi Tian saw a fish, or rather, it couldn't be called a fish, because it had hands and feet, but its body was similar to a fish. It could be described as a fishman. This fishman probably didn't have much intelligence, swimming around in the sea like an ordinary fish, not appearing bored even though it was alone. Copy talent, encompass. Yi Tian approached the fishman, his soul power permeating through space, enveloping the nearby area with the range of copy talent. In an instant, the talent situation of the fishman appeared before Yi Tian. Type: necrotic ghostfish. Bloodline talent: Dawn. Necrotic talent: top tier. Devouring talent: mystic. The necrotic ghostfish didn't have many talents, appearing quite ordinary, but Yi Tian was interested in its top-tier necrotic talent. The physique of this necrotic ghostfish must be related to necrosis, but it could survive comfortably in the sea of death. The top-tier necrotic talent must be able to absorb the necrotic energy. I've copied the top-tier necrotic talent. Even if I can't roam the sea of death like the necrotic ghostfish, there's definitely hope to resist the necrotic energy of the sea of death. Yi Tian was absolutely confident. Thus, he copied the top-tier necrotic talent of the necrotic ghostfish. After successfully copying, Yi Tian didn't linger here but headed towards the outskirts of the sea of death. He needed to integrate the top-tier necrotic talent, which naturally couldn't be done on the sea of death. Therefore, he now needed to find a safe place to do so. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel YTIM Premium, link to Patreon. Chapter 386. The Art of Immortality, a heaven-defying secret technique. Yi Tian moved away from the sea of death and arrived at a place where the necrotic energy wasn't too dense. He then emerged from the spatial realm. Integrating top-tier necrotic talent. Yi Tian silently endured the pain brought by the integration of the necrotic talent. However, this pain was quite minimal, as it was only a top-tier talent. Even though the necrotic talent was peculiar, it didn't cause Yi Tian too much suffering. 10 minutes passed, and Yi Tian successfully integrated the top-tier necrotic talent. Immediately, he understood the use of this top-tier necrotic talent. Absorbs necrotic energy to enhance physical strength. Therefore, the necrotic talent was also a method to improve strength, but its usefulness was not significant. However, for Yi Tian, the greatest use of this necrotic talent under the current circumstances was not to enhance strength but to resist the aura of the sea of death. With the effect of the top-tier necrotic talent, I should be able to withstand the aura of the sea of death. Yi Tian thought, but whether he could really withstand it needed to be tested. Thus, Yi Tian flew towards the sea of death. This time, he did not phase into the spatial realm but flew directly there. Along the way, Yi Tian activated the necrotic talent to absorb the necrotic energy that entered his body. His physical strength was improving at a very slow pace, much better than the effect of Yuan Qi tempering his body but not as fast as using resources for cultivation. However, it was undeniable that the necrotic energy didn't harm Yi Tian much anymore. Before long, Yi Tian arrived at the sea of death. He looked at the corpses of the heavenly prides lying at the edge of the sea of death, took a deep breath, and stepped into the sea of death. Boom! Numerous auras of dead spirits, as if they had sensed Yi Tian's presence and considered him delicious food, surged towards him. The aura of the living and the aura of necrosis were incompatible. It was just like a drop of clean water entering ink, instantly swallowed. The principle was similar. Necrotic talent, absorb. Yi Tian exerted his necrotic talent to its fullest, frantically absorbing the necrotic energy that entered his body to prevent them from corroding his flesh. I withstood it. Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. The effect of the necrotic talent was excellent. Although it did not completely negate the damage caused by the necrotic energy, it at least prevented him from dying. However, Yi Tian couldn't stay here for long, otherwise, his body would still be corroded by the necrotic energy and he would die here. Phasing into the spatial realm, Yi Tian activated his spatial talent and entered the spatial realm, immediately heading towards the tomb of the Lord of the Ruins above the Sea of Death. Before long, he arrived at the tomb of the Lord of the Ruins. Whoosh! Yi Tian emerged from the spatial realm and stepped onto the turtle shell where the tomb was located. Then, he walked towards the tomb. Boom! The tomb sensed Yi Tian's arrival, and a beam of light enveloped him, seemingly checking his identity. If Yi Tian were not human, he definitely wouldn't be eligible for the opportunity left by the Lord of the Ruins. The light quickly faded, seemingly confirming Yi Tian's identity. Just then, the figure of an old man, as if coming from the depths of time and space, appeared. His appearance caused the waters of the Sea of Death to solidify, and the void was also sealed. Yi Tian could only watch as the phantom appeared, unable to move. However, he wasn't the slightest bit worried because he didn't feel any danger. The phantom left by the Lord of the Ruins, huh? Yi Tian looked at the phantom of the old man and thought to himself. The phantom of the Lord of the Ruins spoke, "Young man, I don't know who you are, but your ability to come here and trigger the appearance of this phantom I left behind indicates that you are an emperor level and have arrived at my tomb. I must congratulate you, you are about to receive a tremendous opportunity. You don't need to ask me anything. I am now just a phantom, merely narrating the words I left behind, so I cannot hear the questions of people from countless years in the future. What I want to tell you is that I once obtained an astonishing inheritance, but unfortunately, I did not master this inheritance. This inheritance could increase a person's lifespan, not just by a little, but by a great deal, almost defying the laws of the universe. As my life approached its limit, I discovered the divine tomb world within the Milky Way and then ventured into this divine tomb world, intending to use its endless aura of death to reverse my vitality and cultivate that secret technique inheritance, thereby rejuvenating myself. Unfortunately, I still failed, but in the moment of failure, I finally grasped the truth. When a person reaches the God level, their physical body becomes fully formed, and it becomes nearly impossible to cultivate this secret technique. Only at the Emperor level, when the physical body hasn't fully settled, would there be a chance to cultivate this technique. However, this technique requires absorbing the aura of death to reverse vitality, and the aura of death inflicts too much damage on the physical body, which is very fragile at the Emperor level, making it difficult to withstand such a degree of erosion by the aura of death. Therefore, I built my tomb in the center of the Sea of Death. If an emperor was able to reach this place, perhaps he might have a chance to cultivate this secret technique. That's all I have to say. The inheritance of the secret technique is yours, whether to cultivate it or not is up to you. Whoosh! The phantom of the Lord of the Ruins disappeared. The next moment, a golden scroll appeared in front of Yi Tian. Then, the golden scroll unfolded, and countless ancient characters appeared in the air. These ancient characters converged into a mysterious and profound secret technique inheritance. The Art of Immortality. Yi Tian was shocked by the effects of the Art of Immortality as he looked at its contents. The Art of Immortality had 3 realms. Once the first realm was cultivated, it could extend one's life by 10,000 years. For instance, Yi Tian, currently at the Emperor level with a lifespan of 3,000 years, could obtain a lifespan of 13,000 years upon cultivating the Art of Immortality. Perhaps this didn't seem impressive, as many treasures were able to extend life by tens of thousands of years. But, this was not just an addition of 10,000 years of life with no further increases, it continued to grow. Normally, the lifespan of human gods was 10,000 years. But gods who cultivated the Art of Immortality would have an additional 10,000 years of lifespan. In other words, once they reached the god level, they would have an extra 20,000 years of lifespan compared to a normal god, totaling 30,000 years of lifespan. When they reached the true god level, they would have an additional 40,000 years of lifespan compared to other true gods. This demonstrated the power of the first realm of the Art of Immortality. Section Cube 8 Registered. Unknown currency A. Registered. Many ancient gods, once they reach the limit of their lifespan, find it almost impossible to extend it. Despite life-extending treasures no longer being effective, the Art of Immortality could continue to increase one's lifespan across realms. Truly heaven-defying. The second realm of the Art of Immortality was even more terrifying. It could directly increase one's lifespan by 100,000 years, with each realm adding 100,000 years of life. As for the highest realm of the art of immortality, the third realm, once cultivated, granted eternal life. Of course, Yi Tian didn't know if the eternal life mentioned by the art of immortality was an exaggeration, but since the Lord of the Ruins did not doubt the authenticity of the art of immortality, it must not be false. A true great opportunity. Yi Tian was extremely excited. Such a secret technique, if spread out, would completely stir up the entire Milky Way. Yi Tian quickly memorized the art of immortality and then destroyed the scroll. Such a secret technique should not remain in the world, it was enough for him to remember it alone. If taken out, there may be mighty beings with special secret techniques capable of tracing this technique, which would cause him trouble. Thus, keeping it in mind was the safest option. Places with necrotic energy are rare, this is the best place to cultivate the art of immortality. I hope to cultivate the first realm of the art of immortality. Yi Tian hoped. Thus, he sat directly on the turtle shell and began to comprehend the art of immortality. Top-tier comprehension talent activated. Time talent activated. Yi Tian even took out several wondrous stone tablets that could enhance comprehension and placed them around him to assist in cultivating the art of immortality. 5 days passed, and Yi Tian had almost fully comprehended the art of immortality and then began to cultivate it. As soon as he started cultivating the art of immortality, an unimaginable wave of necrotic energy surged towards him, as if it would corrode his physical body in an instant. Yi Tian timely used the top-tier necrotic talent to absorb the necrotic energy, coordinating with the art of immortality to cultivate. It's working, Yi Tian exclaimed. Thanks to Hoxionia for helping me translate the disaster that was the Raz this time. Chapter 387. The first stage of the art of immortality, 13,000 years of lifespan. A massive influx of necrotic energy surged into Yi Tian's body. Although he withstood it, his body inevitably suffered damage. From the outside, one could see Yi Tian's body slowly corroding, while his life talent, healing talent, and immortality talent all activated simultaneously, restoring his physical body. Meanwhile, his blood-devouring talent also consumed the blood of ferocious beasts stored in his personal space to replenish his vitality. With the assistance of his top-tier necrotic talent, Yi Tian could cultivate in the Sea of Death for a considerable amount of time. As time passed, the art of immortality gradually progressed. 3 days. 5 days, 10 days, a month. Despite having various means, Yi Tian's physical body and vitality was greatly eroded. For an ordinary heavenly pride, even if they could exit in time, it would likely take a long time to recover their vitality. However, Yi Tian was not concerned, he could restore his vitality in a short period if he left. Therefore, he was indifferent to the corrosion of his physical body and the consumption of his vitality. His only concern was the progress of the art of immortality. This art of immortality is too perverse. I possess top-tier comprehension talent, top-tier immortality talent, mystic-level blood-devouring talent, mystic-level life talent, and mystic-level healing talent, along with necrotic talent. Yet, I can barely withstand the erosion of necrotic energy. Even if the Lord of Ruins could return to the Emperor level, he wouldn't be able to cultivate this technique. Yi Tian muttered to himself. However, he felt he was about to succeed in cultivating the first stage of the art of immortality. As for the second stage, he was uncertain. The second stage was even more perverse than the first, and the lower-level necrotic energy here was insufficient for cultivating the second stage. Yi Tian was shocked to learn that the second stage of the art of immortality demanded even higher-level necrotic energy. He couldn't withstand the necrotic energy of the divine tomb world, so how could he withstand higher-level necrotic energy? Even with the appropriate environment to cultivate the second stage of the art of immortality, Yi Tian dared not attempt it, unless he sought death. Of course, Yi Tian was not in a hurry to cultivate the second stage because once the second stage was achieved, he could continue to cultivate even as a god-level being, unlike the Lord of Ruins who could no longer practice. Cultivating the first stage was like laying the foundation. Only by cultivating the first stage at the Emperor level could one continue to cultivate the second and third stages. In the blink of an eye, 5 months passed. Yi Tian had been cultivating the art of immortality for 5 months, with nearly 80% of his physical body corroded by necrotic energy, his strength reduced to 1/10, and his vitality greatly depleted. Such injuries were undoubtedly severe and near death, but Yi Tian persevered. Now, he was about to successfully cultivate the art of immortality. Immortality art, break, Yi Tian roared inwardly. Boom, the shackles in the unknown were shattered by Yi Tian, and the necrotic energy within his body began to transform into rich and pure vitality under the effect of the art of immortality. Instantly, Yi Tian's vitality regenerated at an incredible rate. In such a state, the parts of Yi Tian's body corroded by necrotic energy regenerated at an incredible speed. My lifespan is increasing. Yi Tian distinctly felt the transformation of his physical body. Similar to evolution, although his physical strength didn't increase much, his lifespan significantly extended. After half a day, the transformation was complete. Yi Tian clearly sensed that his lifespan had increased by 10,000 years, meaning his maximum lifespan had reached 13,000 years, far longer than the lifespan of an ordinary god-level human. Who wouldn't want to live longer? Moreover, Yi Tian possessed the time talent. With just a high-level time talent, he could accelerate time by tenfold. As his time talent improved, he could accelerate time even faster. With such a long lifespan, he wouldn't have to worry about running out of time and could confidently use his time talent for cultivation. Thus, Yi Tian greatly desired a longer lifespan. Having cultivated the art of immortality, Yi Tian's body had almost recovered, and he prepared to leave. Continuing to stay in the Sea of Death offered no benefit to him. After all, the Sea of Death alone couldn't enable him to cultivate the second stage of the art of immortality. Furthermore, having stayed in the Divine Tomb world for a year, if he didn't leave now, it would inevitably cause a lot of trouble. If other forces learned that he could stay in the Divine Tomb world for a long time without his lifespan being affected, it would surely lead to significant problems. Before leaving, Yi Tian deliberately allowed the necrotic energy of the Sea of Death to erode his physical body to a certain extent without repairing it and then flew away like that. To make the disguise convincing, he left the Divine Tomb world in such a severely eroded state. Who would suspect him? Swish, Yi Tian flew swiftly, quickly arriving at the exit of the giant bone gate of the Divine Tomb world. Boom, Yi Tian flew out, arriving above the planet in the outside world. Immediately after, he flew into the starry sky. At this time, many heavenly prides were already sitting cross-legged here, recovering from the erosion of their physical bodies by the necrotic energy. He was relatively late in returning. Yi Tian also pretended to start repairing his physical body, showing no abnormalities. Time slowly passed. At this moment, a great god-level powerhouse took out a mysterious compass and deduced, saying, "The Divine Tomb world is now devoid of heavenly prides, it can be closed." Boom, the Divine Tomb world closed, and the entrance disappeared. At this time, Great God Changqing spoke, "Everyone board the cosmic spaceship, it'll take you back." The heavenly prides on Silver Universe Star one by one flew into the cosmic spaceship, which then took off. Yi Tian scanned the area and found that 3 heavenly prides hadn't returned, likely having perished in the Divine Tomb world. Although the heavenly prides knew not to court death and would almost never die in the Divine Tomb world, there may be some dangerous great god level assessments. It was not impossible to die during an assessment. Furthermore, the Divine Tomb world was not small, so skirmishes between each other were also possible. Therefore, it made sense that a few heavenly prides died. Soon, the cosmic spaceship returned to Silver Universe Star, and the heavenly prides went their separate ways. Yi Tian also received the date for the true start of the Battle of Heavenly Pride shelf a year later. Half a year later, the Pan-Star Field's Battle of Heavenly Prides would commence. If one had not embarked on the path to godhood by then, it meant participation in the Battle of Heavenly Prides. That is, unless they hid away. However, the Battle of Heavenly Prides lasted a long time, so hiding away would be less practical than directly striving for godhood. Qingfeng Giant City. After returning from the Divine Tomb world, Yi Tian began his closed-door cultivation. This time, his main cultivation task was to comprehend the Tao of the Sword. Now, having obtained the ancient sword steel, he could comprehend the Tao of the Sword at any time, ensuring rapid progress in his swordsmanship. With tenfold time acceleration, top-tier comprehension talent, the ancient sword steel, and supreme sword technique talent. These advantages combined allowed Yi Tian to continuously improve from a 55% mastery of the Tao of the Sword. In just 1 month, Yi Tian comprehended the Tao of the Sword to a 58% mastery. But at this time, Yi Tian clearly felt that comprehension was becoming increasingly difficult. Another month passed, and Yi Tian elevated his mastery of the Tao of the Sword to 60%. Reaching 60% mastery of the Tao of the Sword meant that Yi Tian could comprehend the super god-level sword technique, the Phantom God Sword technique, to the major realm. Mastering a super god-level sword technique would significantly boost Yi Tian's combat power. In the following days, Yi Tian spent most of his time cultivating the Phantom God Sword technique, which couldn't be mastered immediately and required countless sessions of cultivation. Thus, after nearly a month of intense cultivation, Yi Tian finally comprehended the Phantom God Sword technique to the major realm. With the Phantom God Sword technique mastered, Yi Tian clearly felt a significant increase in his strength. Previously, his strength was considered mid to lower among the 8 peerless heavenly prides. Now, it should be considered mid to upper, not far from the top ranks. Chapter 388. The Start of the Battle of Heavenly Prides. In the blink of an eye, several months had passed, and the Battle of Heavenly Prides was about to commence. At this time, Yi Tian's progress in the Tao of the Sword was significantly noticeable, as he had now reached the 64% realm. Once he reached the 65% realm, Yi Tian could even perfect the cultivation of the Phantom God Sword technique. However, Yi Tian did not make much progress in palm techniques, because he spent most of his time on the Sword Tao and Sword techniques. On this day, Yi Tian entered the virtual world of the Heavenly Pride Pavilion. He checked the Heavenly Pride list and noticed that the number of Heavenly Prides from Silver Universe Star's Heavenly Pride Pavilion had drastically decreased. Once boasting over 300 Heavenly Prides, now only about 80 to 90 remained. The others had vanished from the Heavenly Pride list, indicating they were no longer considered Heavenly Prides. The remaining 80 to 90 Heavenly Prides were undoubtedly set to participate in the Battle of Heavenly Prides. However, this did not mean that these 80 to 90 Heavenly Prides would persist until the end of the Battle of Heavenly Prides. Should they decide to abandon their Heavenly Pride title to challenge the God level, they could forfeit their place in the Battle of Heavenly Prides. The true survivors of the Battle of Heavenly Prides would only be the most top-tier Heavenly Prides. Soon, several more days passed. On this day, in the central region of the Pan-Star Field, within a vast expanse of starry space, several towering figures appeared, as if they enveloped the entire starry sky. The time is almost right, it's time to start the Battle of Heavenly Prides. We hope that this time, a child of the universe will emerge from our Pan-Star Field. Yes, among the many human star fields, quite a few powerful ones have already produced one or even multiple children of the universe. Yet, our Pan-Star Field has not produced a single one. Talking about this is pointless, let's just start the Battle of Heavenly Prides. Alright, I will now unveil the Heavenly Pride Golden List. Boom, a giant golden list, spanning thousands of miles, rose into the air, covering this piece of the starry sky. Soon, the mysterious power of this Heavenly Pride Golden List spread throughout the entire Pan-Star Field. At this moment, the aura of all the Heavenly Prides within the Pan-Star Field was captured by the Heavenly Pride Golden List. Instantly, titles of Heavenly Prides appeared on the list. Countless names of Heavenly Prides appeared on their shoulders, along with a ranking for each. These rankings were arranged based on the Heavenly Pride's destiny, not their strength. For example, some Heavenly Prides were very strong but had not made a name for themselves, and thus their destiny was low. While some Heavenly Prides might not be as powerful, they were born into top-tier forces within the Pan-Star Field, making their destiny very strong. However, being weak in strength but strong in destiny was not necessarily a good thing, as such Heavenly Prides are more likely to become targets for other Heavenly Prides. The Heavenly Pride Golden List recorded all the names of the Heavenly Prides and then merged into the void, disappearing from sight. Simultaneously, all the Heavenly Prides within the Pan-Star Field sensed this, knowing that the Battle of Heavenly Prides had begun. And all the Heavenly Prides were now connected in consciousness to the Heavenly Pride Golden List in the center of the Pan-Star Field, allowing them to see the names and rankings of the Heavenly Prides on the list. In Silver Universe Star, Yi Tian also sensed the existence of the Heavenly Pride Golden List. He connected his consciousness to the Heavenly Pride Golden List in the void, where he saw his ranking. Ranked 105,000th, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws. Seeing this ranking, Yi Tian was extremely surprised. I am actually ranked over 100,000, so low. Although Yi Tian was surprised, he understood after some thought that the tens of thousands of Heavenly Prides ranked before him were not necessarily stronger than him, it's just that their destinies were stronger. The Milky Way was relatively weak within the many other galaxies in the Pan-Star Field. The powerful galaxies had produced many strong Heavenly Prides, whose fame has spread far and wide, making their destinies high and naturally ranking above Yi Tian. Yi Tian searched the Heavenly Pride Golden List and found that the 2 7-star Heavenly Prides from the Milky Way, in terms of destiny, were much stronger than him. For instance, the Golden Light Heavenly Pride was ranked over 70,000th. It wasn't very high, but still much higher than Yi Tian's ranking. Yet in terms of strength, Yi Tian could easily defeat the Golden Light Heavenly Pride. This was the advantage of fame. The Golden Light Heavenly Pride had made a name for himself outside the Milky Way, gaining a strong destiny. Although Yi Tian had a great reputation in the Milky Way, outside of it, he was hardly known, hence his average destiny. However, now during the Battle of Heavenly Prides, destiny could be plundered. Yi Tian simply needed to continuously defeat one heavenly pride after another to accumulate a large amount of destiny. Thus, improving his ranking was a relatively simple matter. Yi Tian did not challenge the weaker heavenly prides of the Milky Way because there was no need. Even though these weaker heavenly prides possessed considerable destiny, defeating them would likely not grant him much destiny. Only by defeating those with stronger destiny than himself could he plunder a significant amount of their destiny. Defeating 100 weaker heavenly prides was not as valuable as defeating a single powerful heavenly pride. Therefore, Yi Tian set his sights on the 2 7-star heavenly prides of the Milky Way. Before he could challenge the 2 7-star heavenly prides, one of them came looking for him. On this day, the Silver King Heavenly Pride descended upon Silver Universe Star, arriving outside Qingfeng Giant City. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, the Battle of Heavenly Prides has begun. Come out and fight me. The voice of the Silver King Heavenly Pride reached inside Qingfeng Giant City. At this time in Qingfeng Giant City, many martial warriors knew that the Silver King Heavenly Pride had arrived at Qingfeng Giant City in Silver Universe Star. At the City Lord's mansion, God Zilan and his daughter, Qin Zixuan, stood atop a majestic tower, gazing into the distance at the Silver King Heavenly Pride outside Qingfeng Giant City. Father, who do you think is stronger, the Silver King Heavenly Pride or the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws? Qin Zixuan inquired. God Zilan sighed, the talent of the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws is indeed heaven-defying. He became a 7-star Heavenly Pride in such a short time, which was beyond my expectations. Unfortunately, he has not been cultivating for long. The Silver King Heavenly Pride is not an ordinary Heavenly Pride. When he rose to prominence, he also shocked the entire Milky Way. Afterward, he left the Milky Way and gained a great reputation in other galaxies. In terms of strength, the Silver King Heavenly Pride is very powerful among the 7-star Heavenly Prides. The chances of the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws winning are less than 30%. Father, perhaps the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws can win. I believe in his strength, Qin Zixuan said. Somewhere in Qingfeng Giant City, Yi Tian also heard the declaration of war from the Silver King Heavenly Pride and muttered, the Silver King Heavenly Pride is indeed impatient. I haven't even challenged him yet, and he has come here to challenge me. It seems he thinks my strength is the weakest among the 7-star Heavenly Prides, so he couldn't wait to challenge me, fearing that the Golden Light Heavenly Pride would challenge me first. Silver King Heavenly Pride, how unfortunate of you to challenge me. Yi Tian left the villa and headed towards the outskirts of Qingfeng Giant City. Soon, Yi Tian arrived at the location where the Silver King Heavenly Pride had declared war, facing him directly, with only a few dozen miles between them. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, we have no grievances, but with the Battle of Heavenly Prides underway, I have no choice. Don't blame me for plundering your destiny, the Silver King Heavenly Pride confidently stated. Yi Tian smiled slightly and responded, Silver King Heavenly Pride, the battle hasn't even started, and you think you've already won. I hope you won't regret it. At this moment, many powerful beings above the god level in Qingfeng Giant City were secretly watching, observing the battle. Even many powerful existences, from billions of miles away, were spying on this battle, and the scene was being transmitted to various places in the Milky Way. Thus, many powerful forces in the Milky Way were paying attention to this battle. They were also very curious about who was stronger between the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws and the Silver King Heavenly Pride, these two peerless Heavenly Prides. Boom! The Silver King Heavenly Pride made his move, wielding a divine artifact spear and unleashing a super god-level spear technique, thrusting his spear forward. The power of this spear was immense, capable of piercing through space and killing weaker 6-star Heavenly Prides. In normal circumstances, Yi Tian would keep a low profile and hide his strength. But with the Battle of Heavenly Prides underway, he could no longer afford to hide his strength unless he didn't want to become a child of the universe. To defeat countless Heavenly Prides and gather destiny, Yi Tian was destined to engage in battles with numerous Heavenly Prides. This battle was his first. He intended to crush the Silver King Heavenly Pride with his formidable strength, declaring his invincible prowess. Phantom God Sword Technique. Yi Tian slashed with his sword. With a thunderous roar, the Silver King Heavenly Pride's divine artifact spear was sent flying by Yi Tian's slash. Then, the Silver King Heavenly Pride's defensive divine artifact was penetrated, and his entire body was impaled. A vast amount of blood spilled into the void. The Silver King Heavenly Pride was sent flying backward, his aura becoming extremely weak. Yi Tian had still held back, otherwise, that slash would have obliterated the Silver King Heavenly Pride. At this moment, the entire scene fell silent, and the countless onlooking powerhouses were left with their mouths agape, in disbelief. Chapter 389, The Strongest Heavenly Pride of the Milky Way. Just a second ago, no one would have believed this scene. In a mere second, everything was settled. Silver King Heavenly Pride was severely injured by a single strike and was unable to continue fighting. The gap between them was too vast, not even on the same level of combat power. Inside Qingfeng Giant City, the pupils of God Zilan shrank, also incredibly shocked by Yi Tian's strength. Considering Yi Tian's current combat power, it seemed he would soon catch up to him. And yet, Yi Tian was only at the Emperor level, while he had cultivated at the God level for many years. If Yi Tian stepped into the God level, he could probably defeat him in an instant. I underestimated Yi Tian once again, sighed God Zilan. Beside him, Qin Zixuan watched the scene evolved by her father, clearly seeing Yi Tian defeating Silver King Heavenly Pride. She covered her mouth in disbelief. When had she ever expected Yi Tian to be so powerful? She had once undertaken missions with Yi Tian, not seeing him as particularly formidable at that time. Yet, in such a short time, Yi Tian had continuously advanced within the ranks of Heavenly Prides, surpassing 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star Heavenly Prides. Now, even one of the strongest Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way, Silver King Heavenly Pride, was helplessly defeated by Yi Tian, severely injured. It was conceivable that Golden Light Heavenly Pride, who was on par with Silver King Heavenly Pride, was also no match for Yi Tian. Yi Tian had truly become the strongest Heavenly Pride of the Milky Way, without a doubt. Do you still wish to fight? Yi Tian gazed at Silver King Heavenly Pride and asked. I concede, Silver King Heavenly Pride said weakly. And at the moment of his concession, destiny emerged from his body, separating from him and merging into Yi Tian. At this moment, Yi Tian's destiny surged. Normally, destiny was invisible, but under the influence of the Heavenly Pride Golden List, the destinies of Heavenly Prides materialized, making it clearly visible. Now, Yi Tian had absorbed a portion of Silver King Heavenly Pride's destiny, significantly enriching his own. Simultaneously, Yi Tian's ranking on the Heavenly Pride Golden List rose substantially. Heavenly Pride Golden List, no. 61,900. Yi Tian jumped from over 100,000 to over 60,000, advancing by 40,000 ranks. And this was merely the achievement from defeating a single Heavenly Pride. It was imaginable that if Yi Tian defeated more Heavenly Prides, his rank would rise dramatically. After Silver King Heavenly Pride conceded, a giant hand whisked him away. No one stopped the owner of this hand, as this person was an elder of Silver King Heavenly Pride. The Milky Way, many major powers received the news of the defeat of Silver King Heavenly Pride, all stunned. For a while, Yi Tian's fame truly echoed throughout the Milky Way. Many speculated whether Yi Tian's strength had reached the 8-star Heavenly Pride. But without a doubt, Yi Tian was at least among the top ranks of the 7-star Peerless Heavenly Prides. For many major powers, Yi Tian's strength was a boon for the Milky Way, ensuring it wouldn't be weaker than other galaxies. However, some powers were unhappy. For instance, the Flame Sect. When the sect master of the Flame Sect learned that Yi Tian had defeated Silver King Heavenly Pride, he erupted in the sect's main hall. Damn, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, why are you strong? The sect master roared. Sect master, please calm down. The strength of the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws might be a good thing. If he chooses to stay in the Milky Way, once he goes to the Pan-star field, he will encounter far stronger Heavenly Prides. There are many 9-star Heavenly Prides in the Pan-star field. If he meets a 9-star Heavenly Pride, the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws will likely be killed. The battles among Heavenly Prides were extremely brutal, with 90% of them either perishing or withdrawing from the competition. If the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws doesn't withdraw and continues, there's a high chance he will perish. If he withdraws and becomes a demigod, we can send a true god to assassinate him. Said a true god elder. Right, I was confused. No matter how strong the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws is, he will eventually meet a Heavenly Pride he cannot withstand. The battle of Heavenly Prides is timely, his death is certain. The sect master thought, feeling much better. However, they did not consider another possibility. What if Yi Tian continued to rise and ultimately became a child of the universe? Once he became a child of the universe, who would dare to provoke such a being? The human race would not stand by and watch a child of the universe fall. Even if a child of the universe ascended to the god level, their noble status would still command respect, and no one would dare to assassinate them, or else the high echelons of the human race would not sit idly by. In reality, Yi Tian was not afraid of the flame sect at all. He had ways to contend with the flame sect, he was just too lazy to bother with them for the time being. If the flame sect didn't provoke Yi Tian, it would remain one of the top powers on Silver Universe Star. However, if it truly opposed Yi Tian, the possibility of the flame sect's destruction was high. Silver Universe Star, one of the 9 major planets, was Silver Light Star. Golden Light Heavenly Pride, Mu Tong, was the prided peerless heavenly pride of Silver Light Star, worshipped by countless martial warriors. However, at this moment, Golden Light Heavenly Pride was very nervous, even panicked. He had received the news that Silver King Heavenly Pride had been defeated by Yi Tian. Originally, he had planned to challenge Yi Tian immediately, but he was just a step too late. When he learned that Silver King Heavenly Pride had challenged the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, he decided to wait and see. Depending on the situation, he would challenge either the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, Yi Tian, or Silver King Heavenly Pride. Unexpectedly, the next moment, he received news of Silver King Heavenly Pride's defeat, nearly killed by a single strike from the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws. His strength was similar to that of Silver King Heavenly Pride. How could he possibly stand against Yi Tian? If Yi Tian came for him, his destiny would also be greatly taken by Yi Tian, and his rank on the Heavenly Pride Golden List would surely plummet. What he feared came to pass. Yi Tian, the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws from Silver Universe Star, has come to seek guidance from Golden Light Heavenly Pride. Yi Tian's voice came from afar. Clearly, Yi Tian had already arrived on Silver Light Star. Such haste. He just defeated Silver King Heavenly Pride and now he's challenging me. Is he afraid he'll run away? Golden Light Heavenly Pride frowned. To avoid or to face the fight? After pondering for a while, Golden Light Heavenly Pride made his decision. Fight. He couldn't always avoid battles. If he was to avoid battles indefinitely, he might as well give up on the battle of Heavenly Prides. Why participate at all? Even if he were to lose, he wanted to lose honorably, without losing his courage. Boom! Golden Light Heavenly Pride transformed into a beam of golden light, appearing in front of Yi Tian. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, if you wish to fight, then let's fight. Golden Light Heavenly Pride said solemnly. Good. Yi Tian responded loudly. In the blink of an eye, the two exchanged blows, and the battle concluded. Similarly, with a single move, Golden Light Heavenly Pride was defeated, without even a chance to evade Yi Tian's attack. An 8-star Heavenly Pride. I didn't expect you to have truly stepped into the ranks of the 8-star Heavenly Prides. Golden Light Heavenly Pride exclaimed in shock. I was lucky, Yi Tian replied indifferently. I concede. After saying this, Golden Light Heavenly Pride dragged his severely injured body back to his residence to heal. A portion of Golden Light Heavenly Pride's destiny was also successfully plundered by Yi Tian, causing Yi Tian's rank to rise substantially again. Heavenly Pride Golden List. No. 51,200. I've advanced by about 10,000 ranks again, not bad. Yi Tian was very satisfied. In the following time, the Milky Way was chaotic. Heavenly Prides fought each other, and it was common to see 2 Heavenly Prides battling under a certain part of the starry sky. News of some Heavenly Prides being killed or breaking through was also heard. In short, the major news in the Milky Way was almost entirely dominated by the Heavenly Prides. And people were most interested in the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, Yi Tian, who, after defeating Silver King Heavenly Pride and Golden Light Heavenly Pride, did not take further action. Many believed that Yi Tian couldn't find a worthy opponent and wouldn't make a move in the short term. One day, at the edge of the Milky Way, a huge cosmic spaceship emerged from the spatial turbulence, a 5-star level cosmic spaceship. When this spaceship arrived in the Milky Way, several Heavenly Prides disembarked. One of the Heavenly Prides said, "So this is the Milky Way. It seems its yuan qi is not as rich as our Andromeda galaxy." Haha, the Milky Way has always been one of the weaker galaxies in the pan-star field. How high can its yuan qi concentration be? I heard that the strongest Heavenly Pride here is only a 7-star Heavenly Pride, and there are probably only 1 or 2 of them. Freaknove.com. Haha, let's go challenge the Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way, harvest some destiny, and then leave. Let's go. There are probably other galaxies eyeing the Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way besides us from the Andromeda galaxy. We can't waste time, or else others from different galaxies might get there first. The cosmic spaceship started again, heading for Silver Buddha Star. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel Premium. Your talent is mine. Link to Patreon. Chapter 390, The Promise of a Great God. Silver Buddha star was one of the 9 major planets in the Milky Way, yet it didn't have any 7-star peerless heavenly prides. However, it did have 2 6-star peerless heavenly prides. The 2 peerless heavenly prides of Silver Buddha star were rather low profile, known as Heavenly Pride Yaluo and Heavenly Pride Pulin. Heavenly Pride Yaluo hails from the Golden Buddha Temple on Silver Buddha star, which ranks among the top 3 pinnacle forces on the star. One day, a Heavenly Pride arrived outside the Golden Buddha Temple. From the Andromeda Galaxy, the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride has come to challenge the Golden Buddha Temple's Heavenly Pride Yaluo. Announcing his identity, the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's voice spread across 1,000,000 miles. Instantly, the attention of many powerful beings was drawn. Within the Golden Buddha Temple, several great god-level powerhouses frowned. The Heavenly Pride from the Andromeda Galaxy has arrived so soon, and the first one to be challenged is our Golden Buddha Temple's Heavenly Pride Yaluo. This is too much, a great god-level powerhouse exclaimed angrily. However, being a great god-level being, he could not personally intervene against a Heavenly Pride, especially since Heavenly Pride Yaluo was only at the Emperor level. Does anyone know this Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, and what his strength might be? I don't know him. Why would we, as great god-level powerhouses, pay attention to these Emperor-level juniors? Moreover, this Bloodhand Heavenly Pride comes from the Andromeda Galaxy. We rarely get news from there to our Milky Way, unless we inquire through the Milky Way Commerce Association. But it's a bit late for that now. We should let Yaluo face the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. With us here, we can intervene at the critical moment. Even if Yaluo is no match, we can rescue him in time. Indeed, Yaluo should take action. Otherwise, if the 6-star peerless Heavenly Prides of Silver Buddha star is too scared to respond, it would be a joke to the other 8 major stars. Immediately, these great god-level powerhouses notified Heavenly Pride Yaluo to take action. Deep within the Golden Buddha Temple, Heavenly Pride Yaluo, who was in seclusion, stepped out of his cultivation room. Draped in the battle garment of the Buddhist sect, he emerged from the Golden Buddha Temple and confronted the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride in the sky. I hear you are one of the 2 most powerful peerless Heavenly Prides of the Golden Buddha star. Although your strength isn't much to speak of, your destiny is decent enough to warrant my action. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride said arrogantly. How presumptuous! Heavenly Pride Yaluo was enraged. As a peerless Heavenly Pride, he was naturally very proud, and the tone of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, treating him as if he were a mere ant, was intolerable. Golden Buddha Divine Ability. A colossal Buddha appeared above Yaluo's head, its palm striking towards the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. This move displayed the might of a 6-star peerless Heavenly Pride. Hey, I thought you were one of the top-tier 6-star peerless Heavenly Prides. I am disappointed to see that this is all the strength you have. Despite being one of the 9 major planets of the Milky Way, Silver Buddha star's top Heavenly Pride is only of this level. Too disappointing. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride shook his head, extending his right hand, which transformed into a bloody hand. Swipe. Divine Ability Blood Soul Claw. With a claw strike, the Blood Soul Claw pierced through the golden light of the Golden Buddha Divine Ability and impaled Heavenly Pride Yaluo's chest at an incredible speed. Just as the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was about to finish off Heavenly Pride Yaluo, Yaluo disappeared. Heavenly Pride Yaluo has conceded. Youngster, you may leave now. A voice came from the Golden Buddha Temple. A great god. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride hesitated. He was a bloodthirsty individual, and for him, defeating a Heavenly Pride and killing a Heavenly Pride brought different levels of satisfaction. He was eager to kill a peerless Heavenly Pride. Every Heavenly Pride from the Andromeda Galaxy had a significant background. If he killed one, it would undoubtedly be disadvantageous for his force. However, this was the Milky Way, and even if he killed a Heavenly Pride from the Milky Way, the powerful forces of the galaxy couldn't do much to him. The forces of the Milky Way couldn't trouble his backers across galaxies. Thus, he came to the Milky Way intending to kill a few peerless Heavenly Prides, to experience the joy of killing peerless Heavenly Prides. Unfortunately, the great god-level beings of the Golden Buddha Temple are too shameless, saving this peerless Heavenly Pride. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was infuriated. But since the great god-level powerhouse didn't attack him directly and didn't break the rules, he was powerless to retaliate. Boom! A surge of destiny flew from the depths of the Golden Buddha Temple into the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, increasing his destiny slightly, which somewhat improved his mood. Time to find other Heavenly Prides. I hope those guys haven't finished off all the kills, otherwise, I'll have no fun left. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride moved and left the place. In the following days, many Heavenly Prides received challenges from several of the Andromeda Galaxy's Heavenly Prides. Those with backing, despite being defeated, managed to preserve their lives. However, some Heavenly Prides who were venturing outside were discovered by the Andromeda Galaxy's 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides. Forced into battle, they ended up being killed. Afterward, even if the elders of these deceased Heavenly Prides became aware, they were powerless to do anything. One day, a great god-level powerhouse descended upon Qingfeng Giant City on Silver Universe Star. Who is it? From deep within the mansion of the City Lord of Qingfeng Giant City, a voice rang out. The next instant, a middle-aged great god-level powerhouse appeared in the sky, blocking another great god-level powerhouse who was about to enter Qingfeng Giant City. This great god-level powerhouse emerging from the mansion was the grandfather of Qin Zixuan, the father of God Zilan, and the City Lord of Qingfeng Giant City Great God Qin Niu. So it's Great God Lei Yu who visits, please come to the City Lord's mansion for a chat. Upon seeing the visitor, Great God Qin Niu immediately greeted him with respect. Although Great God Qin Niu was also at the Great God level, he was relatively ordinary among Great God level powerhouses. In contrast, the present Great God Lei Yu was a powerhouse among them, having once been a Heavenly Pride himself. Great God Qin Niu, I am not here for a visit. The Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws is here, right? I have some matters with him. Great God Lei Yu looked quite displeased, seemingly suppressing his anger. Did the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws offend Great God Lei Yu? Great God Qin Niu was startled. Although he hadn't interacted with the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, the latter was affiliated with Qingfeng Giant City, and the city had benefited greatly from the Heavenly Pride Yi Tian in recent years. Moreover, the relationship between the City Lord's mansion and the Heavenly Pride Yi Tian was good, so he couldn't just ignore the situation. If there were indeed conflicts between them, he naturally wanted to try and mediate. Don't worry, we don't have any conflicts. Even if there were, the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws is a Heavenly Pride, how could I possibly make a move against him? Great God Lei Yu explained. Hearing this, Great God Qin Niu immediately breathed a sigh of relief. The Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws is still in Qingfeng Giant City. Please follow me, Great God Lei Yu. Great God Qin Niu led the way, taking Lei Yu Great God to Yi Tian's villa. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, I am the City Lord, please come out for a chat. Great God Qin Niu spoke. In truth, he could easily enter, as the formations here were like paper to him. However, as the City Lord, he should just break through a resident's formations. Moreover, breaking through the formations to enter would surely offend Yi Tian. Inside the villa, Yi Tian and Empress Yu were startled upon hearing Great God Qin Niu's voice. The City Lord of Qingfeng Giant City had actually come. Immediately, Yi Tian came out and saw both Great God Qin Niu and Great God Lei Yu. Neither Great God Qin Niu nor Great God Lei Yu had completely concealed their aura, and the Great God level aura emanating from them imposed a heavy pressure on Yi Tian. Greetings to the two great gods. Yi Tian bowed. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, my son often meets with you, so I want to introduce myself. This is Great God Lei Yu, you've probably heard of him. He has some matters with you. Great God Qin Niu introduced. Great God Lei Yu. Yi Tian was surprised. Great God Lei Yu's reputation was not small, he was one of the very powerful Great God level powerhouses in the Milky Way. Moreover, Great God Lei Yu was one of the elders of a top force in the Milky Way, the Crazy Thunder Sect. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, I've come to ask for a favor, would you be willing to help? Great God Lei Yu spoke directly. A favor? Yi Tian quickly responded, Great God Lei Yu, you are a Great God level powerhouse. Although I am a Heavenly Pride, I am only at the Emperor level. How could I possibly help you? You can. Great God Lei Yu said earnestly, to be honest, my disciple, the Purple Thunder Heavenly Pride, was merely a 5-star Heavenly Pride, but he was slain by a 7-star Heavenly Pride from the Andromeda Galaxy, all for that mere bit of destiny. I can't make a move, but you should be able to kill that 7-star Heavenly Pride. I can promise, as long as you kill that 7-star Heavenly Pride, I will protect your family and the solar system for 100,000 years. Even if the Flame Sect causes you trouble in the future, I can exert pressure on them with the force of the Crazy Thunder Sect. How about that? Chapter 391, Heavenly Pride Wayang faces danger, Yi Tian arrives. The promise of a great god. Yi Tian had not expected that great god Lei Yu would actually promise to protect his family and the solar system for 100,000 years and solve the troubles of the flame sect for him in the future. Such a promise was more valuable than any treasure. And the price to pay was merely to kill a 7-star peerless heavenly pride of the Andromeda Galaxy for great god Lei Yu. Indeed, this deal was very worthwhile. As for the 7-star heavenly prides of the Andromeda Galaxy, he had also heard of them recently. However, since they had not come to Silver Universe Star, and he was too lazy to look for these peerless heavenly prides, he had not yet had a confrontation with any of the Andromeda Galaxy's peerless heavenly prides. Now, great god Lei Yu had come to Yi Tian for help. Yi Tian felt that he could completely agree to the request of great god Lei Yu. This was indeed a win-win situation. Moreover, with the protection of great god Lei Yu, his wife, Earth and the solar system would be even less troubled by others. After all, the scope of the Battle of Heavenly Prides covered the entire star field, and he couldn't always stay in the Milky Way galaxy. He was bound to leave the Milky Way galaxy, but the safety of Empress Yu and Earth was a concern. Great god Lei Yu, I agree to your request. Yi Tian readily agreed. Great god Lei Yu was also very straightforward. Good, if you kill that 7-star peerless heavenly pride, I guarantee that your family and the solar system will not be disturbed by other forces. I believe that in the Milky Way galaxy, apart from heavenly prides, my word is enough to deter others. As for the heavenly prides, great god Lei Yu was also helpless. To him, they were a group of weak martial warriors, but he could not make a move against them. But for other martial warriors, the reputation of great god Lei Yu held significant deterrent power. Even other great god-level powerhouses would not deliberately offend great god Lei Yu. And the Flame Sect did not have any planetary-level powerhouses above the god level. Planetary-level powerhouses in the Milky Way galaxy were scarce, and were mainly the ancient ancestors of the top forces in the Milky Way galaxy, who hardly dealt with trivial matters. These old monsters would not lower themselves to deal with a small solar system, which is why great god Lei Yu had the confidence to protect Yi Tian's family and the solar system. Great god Lei Yu, which heavenly pride do you want to be killed? Yi Tian asked. The Bloodhand heavenly pride of the Andromeda Galaxy. Great god Lei Yu said indignantly. As expected, it's him. Yi Tian was not surprised at all. Among the heavenly prides of the Andromeda Galaxy, the Bloodhand heavenly pride was the most ruthless, having killed many heavenly prides. Therefore, Yi Tian had already guessed it was him. After great god Lei Yu left, great god Qin Niu did not leave but asked Yi Tian, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, are you confident in killing that Bloodhand Heavenly Pride? It is said that the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride is much more powerful than the Silver King Heavenly Pride. Furthermore, the Andromeda Galaxy is stronger than the Milky Way Galaxy. Their heavenly prides might have very powerful trump cards, so be careful. Thank you, great god Qin Niu, for the reminder. I will be cautious. Yi Tian nodded lightly. After great god Qin Niu left, Yi Tian briefly informed Empress Yu about the matter and then left Silver Universe Star. Then, he boarded his 5-star level cosmic spaceship and left. He was going to find that Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. It was not difficult to find the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. Many major forces in the Milky Way galaxy were paying attention to the whereabouts of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. The Crazy Thunder Sect, where great god Lei Yu belonged, had been tracking the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, knowing his every move. Therefore, great god Lei Yu had already sent the coordinates of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride to him and would report the whereabouts of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride in real time. Even if the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride left that place and went to other places, the Crazy Thunder Sect could find the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride again. Wayang Star in the Milky Way Galaxy. This was a very ordinary planet, but a peerless genius was born on this planet decades ago. She grew up to be a heavenly pride and is now a 5-star heavenly pride, with the potential to become a peerless heavenly pride in the future. This heavenly pride was known as Heavenly Pride Wayang. It was because of this heavenly pride's fame that the previously nameless planet got its name. But on this day, the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride arrived at Wayang Star. Heavenly Pride Wayang, it is said that this woman is extremely beautiful. She has been in the Milky Way galaxy for some time. How wonderful it would be to capture a female heavenly pride and enjoy her company. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride became excited at the thought. The key was that Heavenly Pride Wayang had not joined any forces, reportedly because she cherished her hometown very much and had always been developing Wayang Star, not willing to join other forces. Since she was without the backing of a powerful force, the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride dared to target Heavenly Pride Wayang. Otherwise, he would not dare to offend a Heavenly Pride in such a way. Even if the forces with great god-level powerhouses could not make a move, they would invite 8 or 9-star heavenly prides to punish him, sparing no expense. Therefore, he did not dare to target the female heavenly prides of major forces, as that would insult those top-tier major forces, making them go insane. Heavenly prides can be killed but not insulted. This was also a rule among heavenly prides. But now, the Bloodhand heavenly pride was about to break this rule. There weren't many powerful heavenly prides in the Milky Way galaxy, and since heavenly pride Wayang had no backing, he was fearless. Heavenly pride Wayang, come out, or I will destroy this planet with one strike. The Bloodhand heavenly pride stood outside Wayang's star, with his hands behind his back, and arrogantly said. Whoosh! A beautiful figure flew out from Wayang's star, holding a divine sword and staring at the Bloodhand heavenly pride. Bloodhand heavenly pride Wayang was somewhat afraid. The few 7-star peerless heavenly prides from the Andromeda galaxy came to the Milky Way galaxy to challenge all the heavenly prides. It was said that even the Golden Light heavenly pride and the Silver King heavenly pride were defeated by them. Although she did not understand the specifics, the Bloodhand heavenly pride was undoubtedly a 7-star peerless heavenly pride. If it were a normal peerless heavenly pride, they definitely would not bother challenging a 5-star heavenly pride, but the Bloodhand heavenly pride was shameless, not caring at all. No matter how many stars the heavenly pride had, he would challenge them upon sight, often killing the opponent in one move without holding back. Bloodhand heavenly pride, I am just a 5-star heavenly pride, I am no match for you, I admit defeat. Heavenly pride Wayang said. Admitting defeat won't do, I do not accept, unless you are willing to be my woman. The Bloodhand heavenly pride revealed a wicked smile and stepped closer to heavenly pride Wayang. You, heavenly pride Wayang was enraged, holding the long sword, filled with the intent to kill. With Bloodhand heavenly pride daring to humiliate her like this, how could she endure it? Even if it meant death, she wanted to leave a scar on the Bloodhand heavenly pride. Swoosh! Heavenly pride Wayang attacked the Bloodhand heavenly pride, slashing with her sword technique. The Bloodhand heavenly pride lightly waved his hand, directly breaking through the attack of heavenly pride Wayang, and then injured heavenly pride Wayang with a claw. Ha ha ha, heavenly pride Wayang, you might as well obediently be my woman. The Bloodhand heavenly pride reached out to grab her, seemingly about to completely capture heavenly pride Wayang. Oval. See diaresis M. But just at that moment, the space trembled, and a cosmic spaceship emerged from not far away. The Bloodhand heavenly pride retracted his hand, looking solemnly at the spaceship. He felt a sense of crisis. Crack! The door of the spaceship opened, and a figure walked out. It was Yi Tian. Yi Tian put away the spaceship, his gaze fixed on the Bloodhand heavenly pride. Bloodhand heavenly pride, as a 7-star heavenly pride, you are picking on a 5-star heavenly pride, isn't that a bit too much? Yi Tian questioned. Who are you? The Bloodhand heavenly pride asked. The heavenly pride of 10,000 laws. Yi Tian said. What, you are the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws? The Bloodhand heavenly pride became very cautious. Having been in the Milky Way galaxy for so long, he had also learned about the situation in the Milky Way galaxy, knowing that the strongest heavenly pride in the Milky Way galaxy was Yi Tian. Rumors said that Yi Tian was an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, but he did not believe it, thinking it was the people of the Milky Way galaxy glorifying their own galaxy. How could a mere Milky Way galaxy, which previously had no 8-star peerless heavenly prides, suddenly have an 8-star heavenly pride? Wasn't that nonsense? He thought Yi Tian was at most a top-tier 7-star peerless heavenly pride, impossible to reach 8-star peerless heavenly pride. Of course, in terms of real combat power, he was no match for Yi Tian, but he also had his trump cards and didn't believe he couldn't defeat Yi Tian. In the battles between heavenly prides, external objects could be used. If strength was lacking, artifacts could make up for it. Heavenly pride Wayang, you leave first. Yi Tian transmitted his thoughts telepathically. Thank you, heavenly pride of 10,000 laws, for your help. Heavenly pride Wayang quickly flew away. And the Bloodhand heavenly pride's attention was all on Yi Tian, naturally not bothering with heavenly pride Wayang. A battle between Yi Tian and the Bloodhand heavenly pride was about to begin. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel Premium. Your talent is mine, link to Patreon. Chapter 392, Slaying the Bloodhand heavenly pride. Facing Yi Tian, Bloodhand heavenly pride was very solemn, not daring to be careless in the slightest. Yi Tian did not immediately make a move. Instead, he enveloped Bloodhand heavenly pride with his copy talent, checking the latter's talent profile, a habit of his. Instantly, the talent profile of Bloodhand Heavenly Pride appeared in Yi Tian's vision. Human, He Yang, Cultivation Talent, Desolate Level. Strength Talent, God Level. Defense Talent, Mystic Level. Speed Talent, God Level. Claw Talent, Dawn Level. Blood Arrow Talent, God Level. From the talent profile, Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's talents were impressive, and some of them were exactly what Yi Tian needed. For instance, the Dawn level Claw talent was rare among humans, let alone at such a high level. Yi Tian also possessed Dawn level Claw talent, so Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's Dawn level Claw talent was useful to him. Additionally, the Blood Arrow talent was also noteworthy. More importantly, some talents above the Mystic level could be merged with the help of the Copy talent, such as the potential fusion of Blood Arrow talent with the Blood Devouring talent. The Blood Arrow talent, being an attack-focused blood talent, wasn't of much help to Yi Tian, but the Blood Devouring talent was significantly beneficial. The Blood Devouring talent allowed for the absorption of blood energy to recover vitality and quickly restore strength. Yi Tian was able to reach the first realm of the art of immortality previously, partly thanks to the Blood Devouring talent. Therefore, Yi Tian wanted to enhance his healing talent, immortality talent, life talent, and blood devouring talent to aid him against the necrotic energy in the future. Thus, Yi Tian paid great attention to blood talents. Now, the appearance of the Blood Arrow talent fulfilled Yi Tian's wish. God level Blood Arrow talent, copy. Dawn level Claw talent, copy. In an instant, Yi Tian copied 2 of Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's talents, unbeknownst to the latter. Just as they were about to clash, Bloodhand Heavenly Pride suddenly said, "Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, I don't wish to fight you. I can retreat from this battle, what do you say?" Bloodhand Heavenly Pride spoke, which was undoubtedly an admission of weakness. Actually, it wasn't that he feared Yi Tian. He was concerned that if he were to fight Yi Tian and both were severely injured, Yi Tian might not be affected, but many Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way might take the opportunity to attack him, which would be disastrous. So, after careful consideration, he didn't want to fight Yi Tian anymore. "If you commit suicide, we don't have to fight." Yi Tian mocked. "You really think I am afraid of you?" Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was also angered. Blood Soul Claw. Bloodhand Heavenly Pride unleashed his divine ability with all his might. The Blood Soul Claw, a powerful blood attribute divine ability with strong corrosive power, could even penetrate divine artifacts. Blood divine ability, a decent divine ability, but too weak. Yi Tian commented. Phantom Gold Thread divine ability. Yi Tian's right hand formed a void grip. Rip. From the void, strands of golden threads enveloped Bloodhand Heavenly Pride from all directions. Metal attribute divine ability, this is bad. Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was shocked. This metal divine ability's power exceeded his expectations, the attack was terrifying. At this moment, he felt the threat of death. Instantly, Bloodhand Heavenly Pride took out a talisman and slapped it on himself. Fit. The Phantom Gold Thread divine ability sliced Bloodhand Heavenly Pride into countless pieces, but then he turned into a blood mist and reformed not far away. What a talisman, capable of turning into blood mist and reassembling. Yi Tian was quite surprised. But this couldn't save Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's life. "I must escape, this guy is truly an 8-star peerless Heavenly Pride. Good heavens, how could such a small place like the Milky Way produce an 8-star peerless Heavenly Pride?" Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was extremely panicked. Had he known that there was truly an 8-star peerless Heavenly Pride in the Milky Way, he wouldn't have been so arrogant. Blood Escape Secret Technique. Bloodhand Heavenly Pride transformed into a streak of blood light, piercing through space. But at that moment, a dimensional cube appeared in the void. As soon as the dimensional cube appeared, it instantly froze space. A giant hand reached out from the space, grabbing towards him. This was Yi Tian's super god level palm technique Zumi Palm. Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, do you think you can escape? Yi Tian's voice came through. The Zumi Palm descended, instantly grasping Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. Realizing he was in a true life and death crisis, Bloodhand Heavenly Pride threw out an object. It was a flower, and as this flower was thrown, the starry sky suddenly changed. Countless flowers grew from the depths of the void, turning this place into a world of flowers, with Yi Tian standing atop one of them. Suddenly, the flower beneath him transformed into a gaping maw, biting towards Yi Tian. A normal person would definitely panic, but Yi Tian remained very calm. Zumi Eye. Yi Tian activated this secret technique, easily piercing through everything. Illusion, no, it should be the power of illusion. That flower must possess a strong hallucinogenic effect. Unfortunately, it met me who has the zoomy eye. Otherwise, it would indeed be somewhat troublesome. Yi Tian thought to himself. Bloodhand Heavenly Pride also couldn't withstand the flower, after all, he couldn't control the flower. So, when he threw out the flower and it bloomed, he was also pulled into the illusionary world. Die. Yi Tian squeezed Bloodhand Heavenly Pride with the zoomy palm, exerting full force. Before long, Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's life force dissipated, and he was completely dead. However, Yi Tian did not discard Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's corpse but kept it behind. For Yi Tian, Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's corpse was undoubtedly a treasure. Because Yi Tian could seize and bestow talents, he could completely strip Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's talents and someday bestow one to his wife, Empress Yu. In this way, Empress Yu could quickly become stronger. However, he didn't expect Empress Yu to become an 8 or 9-star peerless Heavenly Pride. He planned to let Empress Yu break through the 17th body limit and then aim for God level, not staying in the ranks of Heavenly Prides for too long. After others reached God level, it was almost impossible to improve their talents. But Empress Yu was different. Yi Tian could bestow talents to Empress Yu, so even if she entered God level, it wouldn't affect her talent improvement. The only thing that would be fixed for Empress Yu was her physical strength, other aspects could continue to be enhanced. If it weren't for the title of Child of the Universe, Yi Tian would also like to aim for the God level. But since he had the copy talent, it would feel a bit unsatisfactory to not try to become a Child of the Universe. Of course, even without aiming for the Child of the Universe, with the copy talent, he would have a way to defeat Children of the Universe in the future. But having the ability and not aiming for the Child of the Universe would be foolish. Yi Tian, after killing Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, was thanked by Heavenly Pride Wang. Thank you, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, for your assistance. Without you, I fear. Heavenly Pride Wang, you're welcome. Actually, my purpose here was just to kill Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. Yi Tian said. Heavenly Pride Wang wanted to invite Yi Tian to be a guest on Wang Star, but Yi Tian declined. Soon after, he left on his 5-star cosmic spaceship. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws is very handsome, powerful, and has a good character. It would be nice to be his wife, but it's a pity I heard he already has a wife. Heavenly Pride Wang sighed secretly. Yi Tian was completely unaware that a female Heavenly Pride had developed a liking for him, but even if he knew, he would just smile briefly and then not care. With his current strength and reputation, there were countless women in the Milky Way who had a good impression of him. If put together, they might even be able to burst a planet. However, his greatest love was still his wife, Empress Yu, and he had little interest in others. Not long after, Yi Tian returned to Silver Universe Star, and the news of Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's slaying by Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws Yi Tian quickly spread. For a time, the Heavenly Pride circle of the Milky Way was shaken. Chapter 393, Passing Through the Spatial Turbulence and Entering the Andromeda Galaxy. In the Golden Buddha Temple on Silver Buddha Star, Heavenly Pride Yalua was brimming with excitement. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride is dead, ha ha ha, fantastic. Last time, the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, being a 7-star peerless Heavenly Pride, bullied him, a 6-star peerless Heavenly Pride. If it hadn't been for the timely rescue by a great god in the temple, he would have likely fallen at the hands of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. In recent days, the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride had killed numerous Heavenly Prides. Yaluo had been itching to slaughter the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride himself, but he was well aware of his own strength, nowhere near a match for the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. Fortunately, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws had made a move, slaying the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, a turn of events that delighted many. Compared to the excitement among the many Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way, the remaining few 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides from the Andromeda Galaxy were terrified. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was no weaker than them, and since he had been slain, without even a chance to escape, if they encountered Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, they too might meet the same fate. These Heavenly Prides from the Andromeda Galaxy dared not stay in the Milky Way any longer, quickly boarding their cosmic ships to pass through the spatial turbulence and return to the Andromeda Galaxy. Killing the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride has significantly boosted my ranking on the Heavenly Pride Gold list. Yi Tian thought after returning to Silver Universe Star and checking the Heavenly Pride Gold list, noting, Heavenly Pride Gold list, rank 31,200. His ranking had soared by over 30,000 places, a huge leap, demonstrating just how immense the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's destiny had been. By slaying the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride his destiny had surged dramatically. The greatest gain from killing the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was inheriting his possessions. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride owned many treasures, including various life-saving and killing artifacts. It was uncertain who would win if a 7-star Heavenly Pride encountered the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. One could easily be killed off guard by the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. The only regret was that Yi Tian couldn't find the inheritance of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's blood divine ability, the Blood Soul Claw. It seemed that the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride didn't possess the original scripture of this divine ability. It might have been learned from a backing power or acquired through a chance inheritance, but without the original scripture. Never mind, learning that blood divine ability wouldn't have made much difference to my strength anyway, Yi Tian thought, deciding not to dwell on it. He then prepared to strip one of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's talents. Let's strip the God-level extreme speed talent. Yi Tian made up his mind. Empress Yu's speed talent was still at the mystic level, and upgrading it to the God level was difficult. By directly stripping the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's God-level extreme speed talent and bestowing it upon Empress Yu, he could significantly increase her speed and naturally enhance her survivability. Strip. In an instant, Yi Tian successfully stripped the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's God-level extreme speed talent. He then summoned Empress Yu. "Yuer, I've actually been hiding something from you," Yi Tian suddenly said. "What is it?" Empress Yu asked, slightly nervous, fearing it might be bad news. "The treasures I've given you before weren't really for enhancing talents. I have other means to improve your talents," Yi Tian confessed. Originally, Yi Tian didn't want to reveal this, but after bestowing various talents on Empress Yu repeatedly, she wasn't foolish enough to not notice something amiss. Moreover, having arrived at Silver Universe Star and seen much, Empress Yu knew that treasures capable of elevating one's cultivation talent to the desolate level were nearly impossible to come by. If Yi Tian kept using treasures as an excuse for every talent he bestowed upon Empress Yu, it would be far-fetched. A once-in-a-lifetime chance encounter could be believable, but having such treasures multiple times when even top-tier powers lack them would raise doubts, even if Empress Yu trusted Yi Tian. Thus, Yi Tian decided to be honest. Empress Yu smiled gently, saying, "Husband, I understand. Some things are better left unsaid." "Yuer, thank you," Yi Tian said, holding Empress Yu close. Empress Yu, snuggling up to him, replied, "Husband, I should be thanking you. You've done so much for me." After a heartfelt conversation, Yi Tian ultimately didn't disclose the means he had to enhance Empress Yu's talents. He then bestowed the God-level extreme speed talent upon Empress Yu. Soon after, Empress Yu integrated the God-level extreme speed talent, significantly boosting her strength. Now, Empress Yu had reached the first tier of the 9-star Emperor level, just one step away from becoming a Heavenly Pride. In the following months, Heavenly Prides from nearby galaxies also arrived in the Milky Way. Before they could cause any trouble, Yi Tian sent them packing one by one, further increasing his destiny considerably. Nowadays, Yi Tian's ranking on the Heavenly Pride Gold list was over 20,000, which was already considered quite high. However, if Yi Tian wanted to quickly improve his ranking on the Heavenly Pride Gold list, he couldn't stay in the Milky Way. Hoping to break into the top 10,000 of the Heavenly Pride list was fantasy. The higher the ranking, the more difficult it becomes to advance, even to the point where moving up a few ranks could require a tremendous amount of destiny. "I must leave the Milky Way," Yi Tian decided. Nowadays, the emergence of an 8-star Heavenly Pride in the Milky Way had spread throughout the nearby galaxies, and the Heavenly Prides from those galaxies dared not come to the Milky Way anymore. Therefore, the Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way were relatively safe for the time being. As long as they did not leave the Milky Way, they need not fear being targeted by Heavenly Prides from other galaxies. Even for Empress Yu, who had stepped into the ranks of Heavenly Pride, Yi Tian believed that no one would dare to challenge her, given that she was his wife. Therefore, Yi Tian had no concerns and could leave the Milky Way with peace of mind. One day, Yi Tian boarded his 5-star cosmic ship and left Silver Universe Star, heading towards the edge of the Milky Way. Soon, he arrived at the edge of the Milky Way. At that moment, he saw a boundless black storm in the distance, which was the spatial turbulence. The space between galaxies was interspersed with long regions of spatial turbulence. There were several ways to cross from one galaxy to another. One could take a 5-star cosmic ship through the spatial turbulence, or rely on one's own strength to withstand the spatial turbulence and cross the galaxy. However, crossing galaxies carried certain risks. Even Yi Tian did not dare to guarantee that he could pass through the spatial turbulence safely. Even if everything went smoothly, it would take him a long time to completely pass through the spatial turbulence, and would be far slower than the speed of a cosmic ship. Why take the risk of braving the spatial turbulence alone? Master, the ship is about to enter the spatial turbulence region between galaxies, and it is expected to enter the Andromeda Galaxy in 1 month. Little Ice voice rang out. Enter, Yi Tian commanded. Boom, the 5-star cosmic ship plunged into the spatial turbulence, and a strong spatial pressure hit, but this pressure was nothing to Yi Tian. Activate the sensing system and display the external view of the cosmic ship. Master, the sensing system is being activated. Whoosh, a scene appeared on the display screen of the cosmic ship, showing the ship flying through the spatial turbulence. Space turbulence bombarded the ship, colliding with the ship's energy shield. If it were a 4-star cosmic ship, not only would the material not hold up, but even the energy shield would not be able to withstand the attacks of the spatial turbulence and would be quickly torn apart into countless pieces. Time passed bit by bit. The cosmic ship flew alone through the spatial turbulence, day after day. Finally, after a month, Yi Tian arrived in the Andromeda Galaxy. Boom! After passing through the spatial turbulence, the spatial pressure disappeared, and a completely unfamiliar galaxy appeared before Yi Tian. Andromeda Galaxy, here I am. Yi Tian murmured. Inexplicably, he felt that the cosmic rules of the Andromeda Galaxy seemed a bit different from those of the Milky Way, perhaps a bit stronger. Little Eye, does the cosmic ship have a map of the Andromeda Galaxy? Yi Tian asked. Master, the cosmic ship has maps of the entire star field, including the Andromeda Galaxy. Bring up the map and head to a bustling area of the Andromeda Galaxy. Master, the map has been brought up. The nearest powerful planet to the Master is Purple Immortal Star, which is a powerful planet in the Andromeda Galaxy aside from the 10 main planets. Little Eye reported. Then let's go to Purple Immortal Star first. The heavenly prides of the Andromeda Galaxy dared to swagger into the Milky Way. This time, I will also sweep through the heavenly prides of the entire Andromeda Galaxy before heading to other galaxies. Yi Tian said solemnly. Master, the coordinates have been locked, and the ship is undergoing a spatial jump. Whoosh, the cosmic ship performed a spatial jump and quickly arrived near Purple Immortal Star. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel Premium. Your talent is mine, linked to Patreon. Chapter 394, The First Battle. Purple Immortal Star should have some strong heavenly prides, Yi Tian muttered as he stood outside Purple Immortal Star. However, he knew nothing about Purple Immortal Star at the moment. Even if he wanted to challenge a heavenly pride, he needed to at least know their names. He couldn't just shout outside Purple Immortal Star. Although Purple Immortal Star wasn't a main star like Silver Universe Star, it surpassed high-level planetary worlds and was a top-tier planetary world, vast in size. Yi Tian put away his cosmic spaceship and flew directly into Purple Immortal Star. As he was about to enter Purple Immortal Star, a god-level powerhouse attempted to stop him. You cannot enter Purple Immortal Star at will, you must enter through the spaceport. The god-level powerhouse stated. At that moment, the mark of heavenly pride appeared on Yi Tian's forehead. Heavenly pride. The god-level powerhouse was taken aback and dared not stop Yi Tian any longer. During the period of the Battle of Heavenly Prides were a group of lunatics, and no one dared to provoke them. Ryu²B section, L. cm. Moreover, Yi Tian was only trespassing into Purple Immortal Star and hadn't done anything else, so the powerhouse felt it inappropriate to block his way. With a swoosh, Yi Tian continued flying and soon arrived at a city on Purple Immortal Star. After inquiring briefly, Yi Tian learned about the situation on Purple Immortal Star. Indeed, Purple Immortal Star had heavenly prides, not just 1 or 2, but more than a dozen. However, as Purple Immortal Star was not a main star, the strength of these heavenly prides was not very formidable, with the strongest among them being only a 4-star heavenly pride. Blood Wolf Empire, Royal Heavenly Pride, Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride. Yi Tian locked onto the location of this heavenly pride. There were many empires on Purple Immortal Star, each occupying different parts of the planet. Compared to empires that occupied multiple star systems, the Blood Wolf Empire might be small in size, but its strength was hardly inferior. The Blood Wolf Empire had many god-level powerhouses and even several true god-level powerhouses. However, in the entire Andromeda Galaxy, the Blood Wolf Empire was undoubtedly a minor force. Swoosh, Yi Tian teleported continuously and soon arrived at the capital of the Blood Wolf Empire. In the Blood Wolf Empire's capital, soldiers stationed on the city walls were all saint-level powerhouses, with the captains being emperor-level powerhouses, and officials of the general rank were mostly god-level powerhouses. Suddenly, Yi Tian appeared above the capital of the Blood Wolf Empire, angering the soldiers who saw him. Who dares to wreak havoc above the Blood Wolf Empire's territory, seeking death? A dozen Emperor-level soldiers flew up high, ready to capture Yi Tian. You may step down. Yi Tian waved his hand, and spatial confinement was deployed. In an instant, the group of Emperor-level soldiers was confined, completely immobilized. Then, Yi Tian used spatial power to expel these Emperor-level soldiers, causing them to fall to the ground. At that moment, a God-level powerhouse made a move. However, just then, a voice echoed through the void. Stop! The God-level powerhouse guarding the city immediately recognized the voice. It was from a significant figure in the Blood Wolf Empire, a true God-level powerhouse. Are you perhaps a heavenly pride? The true God-level powerhouse of the Blood Wolf Empire inquired. Indeed, I've come to challenge the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride. Let him come out. Yi Tian declared. The next moment, a young man flew out from the Blood Wolf Empire's palace. Yi Tian enveloped the opponent with his copy talent and observed the talent situation. Dawn-level claw talent. Yi Tian was somewhat surprised to see the opponent's Dawn-level claw talent. This time, he had only come to start the first battle of sweeping through the Andromeda Galaxy, merely going through the motions. However, he hadn't expected an unexpected gain. If he copied this Dawn-level claw talent, his own Dawn-level claw talent could transform into a Supreme-level claw talent, which would be an unexpected gain. Dawn-level claw talent, copy. Yi Tian successfully copied it. Who are you? I've never seen you before. The Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride looked at Yi Tian with confusion. Heavenly Pride of the Milky Way. Yi Tian introduced himself. Heavenly Pride of the Milky Way. I wondered which Heavenly Pride it was. It turns out to be from that minor Milky Way. I didn't expect a Heavenly Pride from the Milky Way to dare enter our Andromeda Galaxy. Yi Tian looked at the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride with disdain. What exactly gave the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride the confidence and the capital to disdain the Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way? Was it due to his mere 4-star Heavenly Pride strength? Even if Yi Tian hadn't risen, the Milky Way was still a galaxy after all, with numerous 4- and 5-star Heavenly Prides, and even 6- and 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides. It was audacious of the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride to look down upon the Milky Way's Heavenly Prides. The Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride doesn't recognize me, probably because the news about those few 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides who returned hasn't been spread. Moreover, it seems like the Andromeda Galaxy has always belittled the Milky Way. I guess many Heavenly Prides in the Andromeda Galaxy have been instilled with the idea that any strong Heavenly Pride from the Andromeda Galaxy can easily sweep through the Heavenly Prides of the Milky Way. Yi Tian thought to himself. Shall we begin? I am pressed for time, Yi Tian said. All right. The Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride nodded and then unleashed a super god-level claw technique. Ghost Blade. With a single slash, Yi Tian's blade moved silently, severing the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride's arm and inflicting severe injuries on him. Ah! The Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride screamed in agony, a pitiful sight. Do you admit defeat? Yi Tian asked. I admit defeat, I admit defeat. The Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride hastily shouted. He was frightened. He had thought that Yi Tian wasn't very strong. With this being his home ground, he had been a bit arrogant. But he was instantly defeated by Yi Tian with one move. If Yi Tian hadn't shown mercy, he probably would have been dead by now. When the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride admitted defeat, a portion of his destiny peeled away from him and flowed into Yi Tian, slightly increasing Yi Tian's destiny. After all, he was an 8-star Heavenly Pride, and the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride was only a 4-star Heavenly Pride. Defeating the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride naturally wouldn't grant him much destiny. But with this battle, the news of the Heavenly Pride from the Milky Way arriving in the Andromeda Galaxy would surely spread quickly. At that moment, within the capital of the Blood Wolf Empire, many martial warriors were stunned, unable to believe what they saw as they looked at the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride, who had lost an arm. In their eyes, the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride was the first genius of their Blood Wolf Empire and the top Heavenly Pride of the entire Purple Immortal Star, almost invincible at the Emperor level. To these martial warriors with limited knowledge, the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride was the strongest Emperor-level being, unbeatable by anyone. But now, the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride had been defeated in one move, a miserable sight. Their faith had collapsed all at once. Impossible, how could the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride lose? I don't believe it. Is all this an illusion? Our Blood Wolf Empire's Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride is incredibly strong. I've seen him in action with my own eyes, even instantly killing a recently ascended god-level criminal with his own hands. He can't possibly lose. Though unbelievable, that Heavenly Pride from the Milky Way must be the strongest. The Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride has indeed lost. Soon, the other empires on Purple Immortal Star received the news of the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride's defeat by Yi, and this news began to spread throughout the entire Andromeda Galaxy. During the period of the Battle of Heavenly Prides, many great forces were collecting information on Heavenly Prides. The Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride might not be much in the entire Andromeda Galaxy, but he was still a 4-star Heavenly Pride, and his defeat by a Heavenly Pride from the Milky Way was no small matter. Moreover, the arrival of a Heavenly Pride from the Milky Way in the Andromeda Galaxy was a significant event. In the Andromeda Galaxy, on one of the 10 main planets, Shanchong Star, 2 Heavenly Prides were chatting. These 2 Heavenly Prides were Heavenly Pride Hongyang and Heavenly Pride Lai Jun, who had once visited the Milky Way. As 6-star peerless Heavenly Prides, their backing forces were also very powerful. Thus, the news of the Heavenly Pride from the Milky Way coming to the Andromeda Galaxy naturally reached their ears. Heavenly Pride Hongyang, the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, has come to our Andromeda Galaxy. He probably wants to challenge the 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides of our Andromeda Galaxy. His first challenge against the Silver Wolf Heavenly Pride is probably a signal of his arrival. Heavenly Pride Lai Jun said. The strength of the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws is indeed formidable, but our Andromeda Galaxy has more than a dozen 7-star Heavenly Prides, with the strongest one nearly reaching 8-star. The Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws might find it challenging. Although Heavenly Pride Hongyang admired Yi Tian's strength, he didn't blindly believe that Yi Tian could sweep through the Andromeda Galaxy. By the way, a few 7-star Heavenly Prides seemed to have gone to the Milky Way a while ago and returned not long after. It seems like the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride didn't return. Do you know what happened? Heavenly Pride Lai Jun frowned slightly, feeling that something had happened. I am not sure. Maybe they encountered the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, and neither side could do anything to the other, so they returned, Heavenly Pride Hongyang speculated. At this time, Yi Tian had already left Purple Immortal Star and was heading towards the core area of the Andromeda Galaxy. His goal was to sweep through the Heavenly Prides of the 10 main planets of the Andromeda Galaxy. Hongyang and Lai Jun Heavenly Pride changed to Heavenly Pride Hongyang and Lai Jun. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel Premium. Your Talent is Mine, link to Patreon. Chapter 395, 10 7-star Peerless Heavenly Prides. The 10 major stars of the Andromeda Galaxy included Shanchong Star, Shanyu Star, Shanwang Star, Shantong Star. Among them, the most powerful was Shanwang Star, known as the #1 main star of the Andromeda Galaxy. Yi Tian chose to descend on Shanwang Star, the #1 main star of the Andromeda Galaxy, where the number of Heavenly Prides was the highest. Moreover, the top few 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides of the Andromeda Galaxy are also on Shanwang Star. Therefore, he must come to Shanwang Star to challenge these Heavenly Prides. Besides, when Yi Tian left Purple Immortal Star, he had already stated his intention to descend on Shanwang Star. Presumably, many powerful Heavenly Prides would come to Shanwang Star. After all, Yi Tian's arrival in the Andromeda Galaxy to challenge the Heavenly Prides of the Andromeda Galaxy is seen as a provocation in their eyes. How could they tolerate provocation from a Heavenly Pride of the Milky Way? Perhaps many Heavenly Prides will besiege me, Yi Tian speculated. Although it was quite disgraceful for multiple Heavenly Prides to besiege one, it was not restricted. Even if thousands of Heavenly Prides besiege one Heavenly Pride, it would not violate the rules of the Battle of Heavenly Prides. During the period of the Battle of Heavenly Prides, there were almost no rules. The only rule was that God-level and above powerhouses could not participate. Shanwang Star. Before Yi Tian's arrival, a top-tier great God-level powerhouse from Shanwang Star had already made a declaration. He wanted the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, Yi Tian, dead. This top-tier great God-level powerhouse was the current sect master of the Blood God sect and the mentor of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, the Fierce Blood Great God. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was personally nurtured by the sect master of the Blood God sect and even had the potential to advance to an 8-star Heavenly Pride. He had high hopes for him. However, what he never expected was for the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride to be slain in the relatively weak Milky Way. At first, he didn't believe this fact, but after repeatedly confirming it, he had to admit that the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was indeed killed, and the one who killed him was the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws from the Milky Way. However, to prevent the Blood God sect's reputation from being damaged, he did not publicize the death of the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride. But now that Yi Tian had personally come to the Andromeda Galaxy, the Fierce Blood Great God could no longer hold back. He wanted the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, Yi Tian, to also fall. Of course, Yi Tian's strength is formidable, reportedly having reached the level of an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, making it difficult to kill him. Although the Andromeda Galaxy was much stronger than the Milky Way, it does not have an 8-star peerless heavenly pride. How could they defeat Yi Tian? If one 7-star heavenly pride is not enough, let multiple 7-star peerless heavenly prides besiege Yi Tian. I will promise that whoever kills the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws will be granted a top-tier 8-star wondrous object. I don't believe no one will be tempted. The fierce blood great god believed the allure of a top-tier 8-star wondrous object would be enough to attract those 7-star heavenly prides. More importantly, the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws was a heavenly pride from the Milky Way, and the 7-star heavenly prides of the Andromeda Galaxy also didn't want Yi Tian to sweep through the Andromeda Galaxy. Although an 8-star heavenly pride is powerful, with multiple 7-star heavenly prides joining forces and using some external means, killing an 8-star heavenly pride is not impossible. Fe Webno. Degree Diaresis M. When the bounty issued by the sect master of the Blood God sect, the fierce blood great god, was released, and information about Yi Tian spread, one after another, 7-star heavenly prides gathered on Shanwang Star. This time, a total of 10 7-star heavenly prides would participate in the battle, including 2 top-tier 7-star peerless heavenly prides. Seeing so many 7-star heavenly prides gathering on Shanwang Star, other heavenly prides also came to watch the excitement, fully aware that this would definitely be a remarkable battle of heavenly prides. Even the heavenly prides of Shanchang Star, Heavenly Pride Hong Yang, and Heavenly Pride Lai Jun came to Shanwang Star to watch the battle. Is it true that the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws possesses the strength of an 8-star Heavenly Pride? Heavenly Pride Hong Yang asked through a voice transmission. I am not sure either. The Bloodhand Heavenly Pride was a 7-star Heavenly Pride and wasn't considered weak among them. Unexpectedly, he was killed by the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws. I was also incredulous when I first heard this news. No wonder those few 7-star Heavenly Prides ran back from the Milky Way, they were scared off. Lai Jun replied. The Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws helped us in the past, and although he is a peerless Heavenly Pride, this time 10 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides are taking action, and each possesses a killer move. I am afraid the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws is in danger. Let's inform him to leave the Andromeda Galaxy, Heavenly Pride Hong Yang suggested. Don't. Do you think the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws will listen to us? Besides, we are also Heavenly Prides of the Andromeda Galaxy, it's better not to get involved. Heavenly Pride Lai Jun shook his head and said. Just then, news came that Yi Tian had already arrived outside Shanwang Star. In fact, Yi Tian could have arrived earlier, but to allow more Heavenly Prides to gather on Shanwang Star, he deliberately delayed his arrival. Outside Shanwang Star, Yi Tian had just emerged from a 5-star cosmic spaceship when he sensed powerful divine consciousness sweeping over him. Have I been discovered? Yi Tian didn't care about this at all, he had no intention of hiding his identity. After putting away the cosmic spaceship, Yi Tian flew directly towards Shanwang Star. Although he didn't enter Shanwang Star through official channels, no one stopped him at this time. Soon, Yi Tian entered Shanwang Star. Shanwang Star is vast, and it would naturally be quite troublesome for Yi Tian alone to find those heavenly prides. But at this moment, a true god appeared in front of Yi Tian. This true god said directly, you must be the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws, right? If you want to challenge other heavenly prides, follow me. Yi Tian found it strange that a true god had come to lead the way. He was here to challenge, after all, which could easily be seen as a provocation. Yi Tian guessed that many heavenly prides must already be waiting for him, and what awaited him would surely be the besiegement by multiple heavenly prides. Of course, he was not afraid. With his current strength, he was not afraid of those heavenly prides. Moreover, he had almost no flaws and was not afraid of being countered. Even if the enemy had powerful killer moves, so what? Then I'll trouble you to lead the way, Yi Tian said, cupping his fists. Then, Yi Tian followed the person to a giant city, and after taking a teleportation formation, they teleported several times and finally arrived atop a massive divine mountain. As soon as he arrived, Yi Tian felt many gazes on him. Among them were gazes from some true gods and great god-level beings, some of which even exuded killing intent, with a strong malice coming straight at him. The heavenly pride of 10,000 laws, you brutally killed the Bloodhand heavenly pride of the Andromeda Galaxy, and now you've come to our Andromeda Galaxy to provoke us. You're really not taking the many heavenly prides of our Andromeda Galaxy seriously. The speaker was a 7-star heavenly pride. Yi Tian looked over and said with a smile, you must be the Jade Mountain heavenly pride of the Andromeda Galaxy, right? Among the few 7-star heavenly prides who entered the Milky Way, you were one of them. You also killed a few heavenly prides in our Milky Way, didn't you? Why didn't you speak of mercy then? There's no need for a war of words. If you want to fight, then come. Jade Mountain Heavenly Pride and the others stopped talking. One by one they stepped forward, surrounding Etienne in total. These 10 heavenly prides were all 7-star peerless heavenly prides, each with great reputation in the Andromeda galaxy. Previously, asking them to besiege one heavenly pride would have been impossible, they couldn't lower their pride for that. But now, facing Etienne, an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, these 10 7-star peerless heavenly prides had joined forces. Attack! The leader, a top-tier 7-star peerless heavenly pride Sunset Heavenly Pride, spoke. Boom! The void transformed, and a large formation covered the area. A formation master. Etienne was slightly surprised. Among heavenly prides, formation masters were rare, as some heavenly prides, even if they had a talent for formations, were unwilling to spend time learning them. For example, Etienne had a talent for formations, but his level was only at the Morning Star level because he had too many aspects to cultivate, leaving no time to study formations. And the level of the formation master who set up this formation this time was quite high, about at the Moonlight level. That is to say, the opponent was a Moonlight level formation master and a 7-star peerless heavenly pride. It's not a killing formation, but a trapping formation. Etienne immediately judged. But it made sense. A formation set up by a 7-star peerless heavenly pride, no matter how strong, would hardly threaten an 8-star peerless heavenly pride. Setting up a killing formation would also hinder other heavenly prides. So it was better not to set one up. The trapping formation was a great help. It could prevent the enemy from leaving without restricting one's own side. Moreover, this trapping formation had the ability to suppress space, indeed capable of suppressing Etienne's strength. But just a trapping formation alone was merely a slight suppression of Etienne. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. One after another, the 7-star heavenly prides also appeared within the trapping formation, launching attacks on Etienne. Chapter 396, Is this your trump card? Facing the attack of 10 7-star peerless heavenly prides, Etienne naturally did not underestimate them. Immediately, he deployed numerous defensive measures, even resorting to the 10-star Yuan Force Defense secret technique known as the Dark Qilin Demon Body Technique. Boom! The attacks from the 10 7-star peerless heavenly prides bombarded Etienne's defenses, yet failed to breach them. Ghost Blade. Etienne executed a perfected god-level sword technique. Although the Ghost Blade's offensive power was not the highest among Etienne's various methods, its unpredictability made its lethality extremely terrifying. With an incredible speed, the Ghost Blade slashed towards one of the 7-star peerless heavenly prides, piercing directly through the opponent's chest. A blade through the chest. Although the Ghost Blade's attack was not comparable to that of an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, it was top-notch among 7-star peerless heavenly prides, hence the heavily wounded state of this particular heavenly pride. However, at the critical moment, the formation instantly teleported the severely injured 7-star peerless heavenly pride away. Without this formation, that 7-star peerless heavenly pride would definitely not have withstood Etienne's second blade. I can break through the formation, but these peerless heavenly prides probably won't give me the time to do so. Etienne thought. But Etienne wasn't without options. He still had the super god-level palm technique, the Zumi Palm. The Zumi Palm could capture the enemy within the palm's Zumi realm, leaving them no chance to escape. Boom! The battle raged on. Taking the opportunity, Etienne executed the super god-level palm technique, the Zumi Palm. He targeted a relatively weaker 7-star peerless heavenly pride and grabbed him. Although these heavenly prides knew that Etienne possessed spatial talents, they definitely underestimated the super god-level palm technique, the Zumi Palm, and prepared to withstand it head-on. However, they overestimated themselves. A super god-level palm technique executed by an 8-star peerless heavenly pride is not something a 7-star peerless heavenly pride could withstand, especially a spatial palm technique like the Zumi Palm. As the Zumi Palm descended, space seemed to freeze. Suppress. Capture. In an instant, this 7-star peerless heavenly pride was sucked into the Zumi realm and completely suppressed. Not good. The other 7-star peerless heavenly pride's expressions changed. They launched attacks, trying to cut off Etienne's Zumi Palm and rescue their captured comrade. Scram! With a thought from Etienne, the Phantom Gold Thread divine ability was unleashed. PFFT PFFT PFFT. Phantom Gold Thread sliced towards these heavenly prides. No matter how the 7-star peerless heavenly prides resisted, they struggled to withstand the slicing of the Phantom Gold Thread divine ability. Immediately, several heavenly prides were maimed, suffering serious injuries. The heavenly pride of 10,000 laws is too powerful, we are no match. Let's use our trump card, said the sunset heavenly pride. Using the trump card so soon was beyond everyone's expectations. They had thought that 10 7-star peerless heavenly prides, along with a moonlight-level trapping formation, would be enough to injure Yi Tian. But in reality, they were powerless to resist, not even qualifying to contend. If the battle continued this way, they would all perish. Hence, they had no choice but to use their trump card. One of the 7-star peerless heavenly prides took out an arrow filled with law patterns, clearly a one-time divine artifact arrow with immense power. Driven by the cultivation strength of this 7-star peerless heavenly pride, it required time. In a one-on-one battle, he would not have the time to prepare, but in such a situation, he had the chance to fire the arrow. In the Andromeda galaxy, this arrow was known as the Godfall arrow. In other words, this arrow possessed the power to slay gods. High above, a group of gods watched the scene unfold. Seeing the 7-star peerless heavenly pride take out the Godfall arrow, they smiled slightly. With the Godfall arrow, capable of piercing through the void, even the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws, no matter how strong, might not avoid injury. Even if the Godfall arrow cannot kill the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws, it can severely wound him. Indeed, once the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws is injured by the Godfall arrow, the other heavenly prides can seize the opportunity to execute their techniques and kill the heavenly pride of 10,000 laws. What does it matter if he's an 8-star peerless heavenly pride? If he dares to act arrogantly in our Andromeda galaxy, he still has to die. Under the expectant gazes of the other heavenly prides and many god-level powerhouses, the Godfall arrow was finally launched by the 7-star peerless heavenly pride towards Yi Tian. Whoosh! The Godfall arrow pierced through, coming at an extremely fast speed. The spatial barrier was immediately penetrated by the Godfall arrow, which continued its trajectory towards Yi Tian. Under the influence of the Grand Formation, Yi Tian couldn't phase into space. Even if he could, he felt that he wouldn't be able to dodge the Godfall arrow. At this moment, the other 7-star peerless heavenly prides were also attacking him, timing their assault perfectly with the launch of the arrow. But they still underestimated Yi Tian. Dimensional Cube. Yi Tian summoned the divine artifact, the Dimensional Cube, and manipulated it to execute a spatial technique, spatial collapse. Boom! The space around Yi Tian instantly collapsed, swallowing the attacks of the other peerless heavenly prides and even causing the entire trapping formation to start destabilizing. Although the Godfall arrow managed to pierce through the spatial collapse with incredible force, its power was greatly diminished, and Yi Tian deflected it with a slash. The Godfall arrow proved ineffective. Seizing the opportunity, Yi Tian teleported in front of a peerless heavenly pride and slashed at him with the Void God Sword technique. Just as the 7-star peerless heavenly pride controlling the formation was about to teleport this peerless heavenly pride away, Yi Tian activated the Dimensional Cube to forcibly interrupt the teleportation and immediately beheaded the 7-star peerless heavenly pride. Under normal circumstances, losing one's head wouldn't result in death, but Yi Tian's Void God Sword technique was a super god-level technique that could pulverize every cell of the heavenly prides, making it a truly terrifying technique. Therefore, this 7-star peerless heavenly pride was instantly killed for good. On the other hand, the peerless heavenly pride trapped within Yi Tian's Zumi realm also perished, crushed to death by repeated suppressions. Thereafter, 2 7-star peerless heavenly prides fell, one was severely injured, and another 7-star peerless heavenly pride was incapacitated, only able to control the formation. So, at this moment, only 6 7-star peerless heavenly prides were left capable of fighting Yi Tian. However, now, the remaining 7-star peerless heavenly prides were filled with fear. They were terrified. A moment's carelessness could lead to death, far from a normal spar or challenge. In a normal challenge, even if they lost, they wouldn't die. But now, with so many heavenly prides besieging Yi Tian within the formation, a slight mistake could indeed lead to death, and the forces behind them couldn't intervene, as it could easily lead to attacking Yi Tian. If a god-level being attacked Yi Tian, the nature of the incident would change, and the forces behind them might be eradicated by the human upper echelons. The Sunset Heavenly Pride then commanded, "Well, throw all our trump cards out, abandon this trapping formation, and retreat immediately. We might have a chance to directly obliterate Yi Tian. Remember, we only have one chance, don't hesitate to use all your trump cards." Okay, I agree with Sunset Heavenly Pride's suggestion. One after another, the Heavenly Prides nodded in agreement. One Heavenly Pride took out a one-time weapon containing terrifying toxins, capable of exploding and creating a poisonous domain. Another heavenly pride produced a special kind of fire seed, capable of igniting and generating a horrific attack. Yet another heavenly pride took out a talisman, a destructive divine talisman capable of killing 7-star peerless heavenly prides, releasing terrifying destructive power. The sunset heavenly pride, on the other hand, took out a miniaturized stellar core that had been refined. Once detonated, it would create an attack resembling a small sun. Even the sunset heavenly pride himself dared not use this stellar core carelessly, as it could easily harm himself. But once thrown into the formation, with the formation's barrier and timely retreat, he should be safe. The heavenly prides almost exhausted their final reserves, launching their attacks. At the same time, the besieging heavenly prides received warnings from their elders and rapidly retreated, reaching millions, even tens of millions of miles away in a blink of an eye. Leading the way, Sunset Heavenly Pride unleashed their trump cards into the formation. The next moment, the 8 7-star peerless heavenly prides quickly retreated, while a horrific explosion erupted in the center of the formation, sweeping the surroundings like a supernova. Countless flames, poison mists, and destructive lights enveloped the area, instantly annihilating mountains thousands of feet high, turning tens of thousands of miles into scorched earth. Seeing this, the 8 7-star peerless heavenly prides, who had run out of the explosion's range, used their divine senses to probe. The heavenly pride of 10,000 laws must be dead, right? They thought. But then, a voice came from the center of the explosion. Is this your trump card? Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel YTIM Premium, link to Patreon. Chapter 397, Sweeping Through the Andromeda Galaxy. Boom. Yi Tian stepped out of the explosion's center, his scales formed by the dark Qilin demonic body technique almost shattered, and his body bore numerous wounds. Yet, Yi Tian's aura remained undiminished, and his injuries were rapidly healing. The 7-star peerless heavenly prides had unleashed their trump cards. If it were a slightly weaker 8-star peerless heavenly pride, they might have truly perished. But Yi Tian was unafraid. With spatial barriers, God-level defensive talents, God-level iron armor talent, and a 10-star Yuan Force defensive secret technique, combined with a defensive divine artifact he wore, his defensive capabilities were terrifying. Furthermore, Yi Tian possessed top-tier immortality talent, mystic-level healing talent, mystic-level life talent, and a new blood-devouring talent formed by the fusion of God-level blood arrow talent and blood-devouring talent, making him nearly impossible to kill. Therefore, the collective trump cards of these peerless heavenly prides only managed to breach Yi Tian's defenses and cause some superficial damage. Impossible. How can you be unharmed? Sunset Heavenly Pride was terrified and in disbelief. Other heavenly prides and the many onlookers, including gods, were also stunned. Even many god-level powerhouses felt that had they been in Yi Tian's place, they would have perished, yet Yi Tian was unscathed, showcasing his extraordinary ability to survive. I've survived, and now you must die. Yi Tian activated the dimensional cube, freezing the space around them. Then, he unleashed the Void God Sword technique, targeting one of the 7-star peerless heavenly prides. Spatial collapse. Zoomy palm. Great flame extinguishing hand. Phantom gold thread divine ability. Yi Tian displayed most of his offensive capabilities, attacking like a terrifying demon god against the 8 peerless heavenly prides. Above in the sky, the god-level powerhouses watching the excitement suddenly changed their expressions. This is bad, they are in danger. These 7-star peerless heavenly prides were treasures of the Andromeda Galaxy, and losing even one was unbearable. Moreover, the elders of these peerless heavenly prides wouldn't allow their demise. Previously, they were cautious due to the large formation covering them, fearing that any intervention might harm Yi Tian, which would be difficult to justify. Registered. Degree A. But now, saving these peerless heavenly prides became much easier. However, Yi Tian anticipated the intervention of the god-level powerhouses and thus unleashed a divine artifact. Puff. A net-like divine artifact engulfed with flames expanded wildly, covering millions of miles in an instant. The god-level powerhouses withdrew their hands as soon as they were about to touch the artifact. It's the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride's Fire Spider Heavenly Net Divine Artifact. A god-level powerhouse exclaimed. The Fire Spider Heavenly Net Divine Artifact wasn't very powerful and was just an average artifact for peerless heavenly prides, but it could prevent enemies from escaping, which was its true purpose. Now, as Yi Tian had refined the Fire Spider Heavenly Net, it became part of him. If the god-level powerhouses attacked this artifact, it would be considered an attack on Yi Tian. God-level powerhouses attacking a heavenly pride was a serious matter, and if pursued by the human hierarchy, they could face severe punishment, especially during the Battle of Heavenly Prides. Intervening in the Battle of Heavenly Prides would compound the issue. Therefore, these God-level powerhouses dared not destroy Yi-Tian's artifact. This delay allowed Yi-Tian to teleport next to the 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides and slay them one by one. Even Sunset Heavenly Pride, who attempted to escape, was trapped by the Phantom Gold Thread divine ability. Although he relied on various defensive means to avoid being shredded immediately, Yi-Tian's Void God Sword technique struck him repeatedly. Instantly, Sunset Heavenly Pride's body disintegrated and he fell on the spot. Everything happened so swiftly that within a single breath, Yi-Tian had slain all the 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides. Shoo! Yi-Tian retracted the Fire Spider Heavenly Net, leaving only himself in the field, with all the 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides fallen. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, you're in fine form indeed. God-level powerhouses appeared before Yi-Tian, glaring at him angrily. They had lost 10 of the Andromeda Galaxy's 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides, a significant blow since the galaxy had only a dozen or so to begin with. Now, only a few remained. The God-level powerhouses were filled with hatred towards Yi-Tian, even wanting to kill him, but they dared not act. Of course, I am in fine form, no need for the God-level powerhouses to worry about me. Yi-Tian spoke with neither arrogance nor humility. HMPH. The God-level powerhouses snorted coldly and turned to leave. They feared that if they stayed any longer, they might not be able to resist killing Yi-Tian, a consequence they couldn't bear. These God-level powerhouses have underestimated the Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws. If they knew his strength was not just that of a newly advanced 8-star peerless Heavenly Pride, they wouldn't have allowed 10 peerless Heavenly Prides to besiege him. An unrelated God-level powerhouse whispered. Other warriors nodded in agreement. Without a doubt, Yi-Tian's strength was not that of an ordinary 8-star peerless Heavenly Pride, he was among the strongest, or else even the top-tier 7-star peerless Heavenly Pride, Sunset Heavenly Pride, could have survived more than a dozen moves against an 8-star peerless Heavenly Pride. But now, Sunset Heavenly Pride was easily killed by Yi-Tian, a testament to the vast difference in strength. Yi-Tian's destiny surged tremendously after killing 10 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides in one go. Originally ranked over 10,000 on the Heavenly Pride Gold list, Yi-Tian suddenly jumped to the 6,820th place. In the vast Pan-star field, being ranked within the top 10,000 was already a sign of a very powerful Heavenly Pride. Ranking 6820 on the Heavenly Pride Gold list was indeed a matter of pride. Is there anyone else who wishes to challenge me? Yi-Tian asked. The crowd was silent. 10 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides were no match for Yi-Tian, how could they stand a chance? They simply couldn't defeat him. If you don't challenge me, then I will challenge you. Rest assured, as long as you don't harbor the intent to kill me, I won't kill you, Yi-Tian declared solemnly. He possessed the talent to discern good and evil, he could sense anyone with significant malice towards him, so they couldn't hide it from him. The Heavenly Prides had no choice but to accept Yi-Tian's challenge as they couldn't escape. Thus, one by one, the Heavenly Prides were effortlessly defeated by Yi-Tian. In the end, all the Heavenly Prides chose to admit defeat from the start. Since Yi-Tian's destiny was high, losing didn't take much of their destiny, so their losses were minimal. Half a day later, after challenging many Heavenly Prides and gaining a lot of destiny, Yi-Tian's rank rose by 10 or so places, reaching 6,810 stone on the Heavenly Pride Gold list. However, this ranking was unstable, subject to change at any moment, either rising or falling. Over the next month, Yi-Tian sought out the traces of Heavenly Prides, even finding and defeating the few remaining 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides, taking some of their destiny. In essence, Yi-Tian single-handedly swept through the entire Andromeda Galaxy's Heavenly Prides. One day, Yi-Tian visited the Shanchang Star. On a pavilion on Shanchang Star, Yi-Tian met with Heavenly Pride Hong Yang and Heavenly Pride Lai Jun. You two are quite bold. I am now the public enemy of the entire Andromeda Galaxy, and yet you dare to invite me for tea and chat. Aren't you afraid of offending those powers? Yi-Tian asked with a smile. Heavenly Pride Lai Jun responded with a laugh, not really afraid. Now the 10 7-star peerless Heavenly Prides of the Andromeda Galaxy have died, plus the Bloodhand Heavenly Pride, making 11, the ones who truly despise you are the forces behind those 11 peerless Heavenly Prides. Other forces are just a bit dissatisfied with you but don't have a significant hostility. In fact, some forces are even grateful to you. Grateful to me? Why is that? Yi-Tian was surprised. Heavenly Pride Lai Jun explained, you should be aware that although we humans are strong, there is also a lot of scheming among the various forces, both in the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy. For example, the forces we belong to are happy to see those 7-star heavenly prides fall, as it means a significant loss for our competitors, which our forces are pleased to see. Moreover, with only a few 7-star heavenly prides left in the Andromeda Galaxy, some resources that belong to Emperor-level powers will be allocated to us. With our strength and talents, we still have a chance to advance to 7-star heavenly prides. So, isn't this a good thing for us and our forces? That makes sense. Yi Tian nodded in agreement. Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, where do you plan to go next? Heavenly Pride Hong Yong asked curiously. After all, having swept through the heavenly prides of the Andromeda Galaxy, Yi Tian was unlikely to continue staying there, as it would be meaningless. He would surely head to other galaxies. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. You can read extra chapters at Novel YTIM Premium, link to Patreon. Chapter 398. The Reappearance of the Time Talent. I am planning to visit other galaxies, but I haven't decided which one yet, Yi Tian truthfully said. At this moment, Heavenly Pride Lai Jun suggested, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 Laws, if you haven't decided yet, I suggest you visit the MoMA Galaxy. MoMA Galaxy. Yi Tian heard of this galaxy for the first time, and out of curiosity, he asked, what is the MoMA Galaxy, and why this one? Heavenly Pride Lai Jun explained, the MoMA Galaxy is quite far from our Andromeda Galaxy, with about a dozen galaxies in between. Unlike your Milky Way, which has limited contact with other galaxies, our Andromeda Galaxy interacts with many galaxies and even has branches of some powerful galactic forces. The MoMA Galaxy is a powerful galaxy that far surpasses our Andromeda Galaxy, rumored to have 8 peerless heavenly prides, perhaps even greater. However, my suggestion for you to visit the MoMA Galaxy isn't because of the number of heavenly prides there but rather because there seems to be a fortuitous opportunity there that has attracted many powerful heavenly prides from various galaxies. That's right, Heavenly Pride Hong Yong also added, originally, some of the 7-star peerless heavenly prides from our Andromeda Galaxy were planning to go, but with your arrival, they decided to deal with you first before heading to the MoMA Galaxy. Unfortunately, they all perished at your hands. What exactly is this great opportunity? Yi Tian was quite curious. We're not sure about the specifics. It seems that a world has appeared there with many valuable items, Heavenly Pride Lai Jun said. Knowing that Heavenly Pride Lai Jun and Heavenly Pride Hong Yong didn't have much information, Yi Tian didn't inquire further. After pondering for a while, he decided to head to the MoMA Galaxy. Since he had no specific destination in mind, the MoMA Galaxy seemed like an excellent place to visit. A few days later, Yi Tian prepared to leave the Andromeda Galaxy for the MoMA Galaxy. Normally, traversing a galaxy would take at least a month, and since there were over a dozen galaxies between the Andromeda and MoMA galaxies, it would take over a year if Yi Tian were to travel through each space turbulence zone in a cosmic spaceship. This was undoubtedly too long for Yi Tian. Of course, there was a way to shorten the journey, taking a galaxy flight. The Andromeda Galaxy had flights to other galaxies, including one to the MoMA Galaxy. This flight used a 6-star level cosmic spaceship, far more advanced than Yi Tian's spaceship. Although the Andromeda Galaxy's technology was advanced enough to produce 5-star level cosmic spaceships, slightly better than the Milky Way, they had channels to acquire 6-star level spaceships, unlike the transportation companies on Earth that could only manage up to 5-star level spaceships. The speed of a 6-star level cosmic spaceship was swift, capable of traveling from one galaxy to another in just one day, reducing the travel time by 30-fold. Therefore, the journey from the Andromeda to the MoMA Galaxy would take only about a dozen days. A mere dozen days were naturally not considered long by anyone. However, the cost of taking a 6-star level cosmic spaceship was very high, unaffordable for ordinary people, but Yi Tian, with his substantial wealth, easily purchased a ticket to the MoMA Galaxy. On the flight to the MoMA Galaxy, Yi Tian sat inside and casually observed that the passengers were mostly God-level and true God-level powerhouses, with very few Emperor-level powerhouses, only about a dozen or so. He also used his copy talent to scan but didn't find any noteworthy talents. The MoMA Galaxy, I should be able to acquire some decent talents this time. Yi Tian thought. As time passed day by day, the 6-star level cosmic spaceship swiftly traversed galaxy after galaxy, astonishing Yi Tian with its speed. Sometimes, Yi Tian had to admit that technological aids were significant, at least in terms of traveling, as the speed of martial warriors couldn't compare to that of cosmic spaceships. However, the foundation of humanity's status as a powerful race in the universe was still based on martial warriors, not technology. After several days, the spaceship's crew announced, Andromeda Galaxy Flight 25 will soon arrive at its final destination, the Moma Galaxy, Goth Star. Please prepare for disembarkation. In a minute, the cosmic spaceship reached its destination. The cosmic spaceship's hatch opened, and one by one, the god-level beings flew out. Yi Tian flew out of the cosmic spaceship and landed at a spaceport on Goth Star, looking towards the not-too-distant Goth Star. This star is no smaller than Purple Immortal Star, Yi Tian remarked. Goth Star, a level 1 technological planet, was clearly not a main star of the Moma Galaxy, but it was a relatively bustling and important technological planet, otherwise, it wouldn't have flights from other galaxies. After entering Goth Star, Yi Tian began to inquire about the general situation of the Moma Galaxy. 4 8-star Peerless Heavenly Prides and 37-star Peerless Heavenly Prides. The Moma Galaxy is indeed powerful. Yi Tian was quite surprised. Compared to the Moma Galaxy, the Milky Way was undoubtedly much weaker. However, the yuan qi on the life planets of the Moma Galaxy was much denser than that of the Milky Way, and the resources here were abundant, something the Milky Way couldn't compare to. Moreover, being close to the center of the Pan-star field, it had strong martial arts inheritances and could easily trade with other powerful galaxies, making it incomparable to the Milky Way. Of course, Yi Tian also carefully inquired about the recent opportunity that had appeared in the Moma Galaxy. Because this opportunity had caused quite a stir, Yi Tian easily found out about it. Soon, he knew the specifics. The water cleansing realm. On one of the planets in the Moma Galaxy, a realm had appeared. This realm was vast, but it was almost entirely made of freshwater, not seawater, with no land. Initially, no one paid attention to this water cleansing realm, but soon people were shocked to discover that it harbored many powerful aquatic beasts and even a legacy left by a galaxy-level powerhouse. This galaxy-level powerhouse, known as the Water Cleansing True Lord, was once a dominating figure. However, after countless years, he was certainly dead. Yi Tian learned about the life of the Water Cleansing True Lord and discovered that he possessed one of the 5 elements' great divine abilities, the Water Sinking Realm Divine Ability. It was a top-tier water attribute divine ability that had shone brilliantly in the hands of the Water Cleansing True Lord. The 5 elements' great divine abilities were famous in the Pan-star field, but few had collected all of them, and no one had ever mastered them. However, everyone greatly desired the 5 elements' great divine abilities. With the emergence of the Water Cleansing True Lord's legacy, naturally, others were very interested. But the real benefit of the Water Cleansing Realm was not just the legacy of the Water Cleansing True Lord but another great opportunity, the Misty Fish. People discovered a very rare beast fish, the Misty Fish, in the Water Cleansing Realm. This fish possessed the rare time talent, and each fish's time talent level varied. Someone had encountered a high-level time talent Misty Fish, which directly cut off several hundred years of their lifespan and forced them to flee in a sorry state, not daring to confront it. This caused a huge sensation in the Moma Galaxy. A Misty Fish with a high-level time talent was incredibly valuable. Now, large forces were offering high prices to purchase Misty Fish. Unfortunately, the Water Cleansing Realm was a world with special rules that only allowed Emperor-level and below martial warriors to enter. A galaxy-level powerhouse could break the rules and forcefully enter the Water Cleansing Realm. However, a previous galaxy-level powerhouse who tried found that the Water Cleansing Realm had been modified by the Water Cleansing True Lord, and forcefully entering would mean confronting the measures left by the Water Cleansing True Lord. Even if one could overpower them, he might destroy the Water Cleansing Realm. Thus, that galaxy-level powerhouse left and revealed the legacy of the Water Cleansing True Lord before leaving. Only then did people know about the legacy of the Water Cleansing True Lord in the Water Cleansing Realm, but so far, no one had found this legacy. Therefore, people were not very concerned about the legacy of the Water Cleansing True Lord. Their target was the Misty Fish, which was one of the reasons many heavenly prides entered the Water Cleansing Realm. Capturing some Misty Fish could yield gains comparable to a major opportunity. The Water Cleansing Realm belonged to the Water Cleansing True Lord, but it was essentially a world without an owner, since the Water Cleansing True Lord was already dead. Therefore, any emperor could enter the Water Cleansing Realm. However, the fighting in the Water Cleansing Realm was also very fierce, with threats not only from beasts but also from other emperor-level beings. Even heavenly prides entering it faced the risk of falling. Time talent. I never expected the time talent I've longed for to appear again. If I copy 2 high-level time talents, my time talent can definitely advance to the top tier. Yi Tian exclaimed excitedly. Please leave a comment and review on novel updates. You can read extra chapters at Novel YTIM Premium, link to Patreon. Chapter 399, The Water Cleansing Realm, The Misty Fish. Yi Tian's time talent had always been at the high-tier level. Although a high-tier time talent was quite formidable, in reality, it wasn't of much help. Even abilities like time freeze, time acceleration, and time deceleration didn't have much effect on powerful heavenly prides. After all, the stronger one's power, the more one could, to a certain extent, be immune to time talents. For instance, if Yi Tian were to use his time talent on a great god-level entity, it wouldn't shake the opponent's soul consciousness at all. Although the opponent couldn't break the time talent, they could see through time, or even directly ignore it. And the ability that came with high-tier time talent, the Blade of Time, was somewhat lackluster. After all, heavenly prides had long lifespans, and erasing 100 years of an enemy's lifespan wasn't very useful. The Blade of Time posed a fatal threat only to those whose lifespans were about to end, but encountering an enemy whose life was nearing its limit was rare. In essence, the greatest use of the time talent for Yi Tian was as an aid in cultivation. However, once the time talent was elevated to the top tier, its capabilities would undoubtedly increase significantly, with time acceleration reaching up to 20 times, and other abilities also greatly enhanced. In short, elevating the time talent to the top tier level would be greatly beneficial for Yi Tian. Moreover, within the water cleansing realm, there was also the legacy of the water cleansing True Lord, which might contain one of the top tier 5 elements divine abilities, the water sinking realm divine ability. If Yi Tian could obtain the water sinking realm divine ability, he would have 2 of the top tier 5 elements divine abilities, bringing him closer to collecting all the 5 elements divine abilities. For the sake of his time talent and the water sinking realm divine ability, Yi Tian naturally wanted to venture into the water cleansing realm. Furthermore, by entering the water cleansing realm, he could encounter many heavenly prides, fight against them, and even seize their destinies. Yi Tian left the Gothic Star and boarded his 5-star cosmic spaceship, heading towards the planet where the water cleansing realm was located. After entering the coordinates, Yi Tian's 5-star cosmic spaceship quickly jumped to a starry sky near the water cleansing realm. Then, Yi Tian retracted the spacecraft and flew towards the planet where the water cleansing realm was located. Soon after, he arrived above this planet. At this time, a spaceport was established on the outer orbital path of this planet, where many cosmic spaceships were parked, and there were also various shops and palace complexes. Clearly, many forces had stationed people here. After all, if someone caught a misty fish, they could trade it from the hands of emperors at the first opportunity. Moreover, it was said that there were many other treasures within the water cleansing realm, which they could also trade at the first opportunity. The entrance to the water cleansing realm was similar to a water vortex. At this moment, several god-level beings were guarding the entrance. When Yi Tian arrived, these god-level beings said, entering the water cleansing realm requires a payment of 1 million star points. The MoMA galaxy also used star points. After leaving the Milky Way, Yi Tian learned that the human upper echelons had standardized the trading currency, and the trading systems of various galaxies were actually interconnected. Star points were the common trading currency for humans, supposedly controlled by a major power. Thus, the star points from the Milky Way or other galaxies could be used in the MoMA galaxy. Therefore, these god-level powerhouses demanded star points, and emperors from other galaxies could naturally afford them. Are you sure you want my star points? Yi Tian activated the heavenly pride mark on his forehead, revealing his identity as a heavenly pride. Heavenly pride. The expressions of the god-level beings changed. They thought Yi Tian was just an ordinary emperor, but to their surprise, he was a heavenly pride. They recognized most of the heavenly prides in the MoMA galaxy, but Yi Tian was quite unfamiliar, either a heavenly pride who had been in seclusion for a long time or a heavenly pride from another galaxy. In any case, for the duration of the battle of heavenly prides were the last ones they wanted to provoke. This heavenly pride, please enter. The god-level beings stepped aside, no longer daring to charge a fee. Originally, this was a private act, and even though there were forces backing them, the water cleansing realm was not theirs. Offending a heavenly pride over a small fee would result in punishment from their backers. Thus, they naturally dared not charge Yi Tian any further. HMPH. Yi Tian snorted coldly and turned into a beam of light, entering the water cleansing realm. Inside the water cleansing realm, Yi Tian stood 100 meters above the water surface as soon as he entered. With a sweep of his divine consciousness, the surroundings became clear at a glance. It's all water indeed, and it's fresh water, not seawater. Yi Tian murmured to himself. From what he understood, the water cleansing realm was vast, and finding the misty fish and the legacy of the water cleansing true lord within such a vast realm was undoubtedly a daunting task. The first target is the misty fish, followed by the legacy of the water cleansing true lord. This was the plan Yi Tian had set. After all, to him, the time talent was more useful than the so-called water-sinking realm divine ability. Swoosh, Yi Tian employed his water escape talent and submerged into the water. He then began to search for aquatic fierce beasts. He planned to hypnotize some aquatic fierce beasts and interrogate them to find the misty fish. As for the contract talent, Yi Tian didn't want to use it because even if he contracted a large number of fierce beasts to find the fish, it wouldn't be useful. The misty fish wouldn't stay in one place. By the time the fierce beast that found the target returned, the misty fish would have already gone elsewhere. Thus, under such circumstances, the contract talent was undoubtedly quite ineffective. Soon, Yi Tian encountered an emperor-level aquatic fierce beast. It was an emperor-level fierce beast known as the water carp beast, which Yi Tian caught and then applied his hypnosis talent on. "Do you know where the misty fish is?" Yi Tian asked. The water carp beast replied, "I am not sure. I rarely see misty fish. Their traces are hard to find." Yi Tian asked many questions, but this water carp beast knew nothing. So, Yi Tian killed it with a slap. Afterward, Yi Tian encountered many fierce beasts. Some had seen the misty fish but were also unclear about its whereabouts. After questioning many fierce beasts, Yi Tian had a rough idea of the misty fish. The misty fish was different from ordinary fish. They were about 10 meters long, slender, similar to a sauri in shape, with gray patterns on their bodies and golden eyes. Moreover, the misty fish seemed to have no sense of territory and wandered everywhere. In one word, they were nomadic. So, finding a misty fish relied on luck. With good luck, one could find a misty fish, otherwise, it would be difficult to find one. On this day, not. Yi Tian didn't find the misty fish but encountered a heavenly pride. The other party was fighting a group of emperor-level fierce beasts. The group of fierce beasts was quite strong, each possessing the strength of 8 or 9 stars, but they were no match for this heavenly pride and were single-handedly swept away. In less than a minute, the group of fierce beasts was completely killed by the heavenly pride. The heavenly pride killed this group of fierce beasts for the aquatic treasures in their territory. This area grew many valuable aquatic treasures. But he didn't immediately collect these aquatic treasures. Instead, he turned his gaze towards Yi Tian in the distance. Yi Tian hadn't deliberately concealed his presence, so the heavenly pride noticed him. "Scram, or I'll kill you." This heavenly pride obviously had a bad temper. "Milky Way's heavenly pride of 10,000 laws, please enlighten me." Yi Tian activated his heavenly pride mark and issued a challenge. Heavenly pride. The person's expression changed slightly. Encountering a heavenly pride at this time was not a good thing. Although he was a 5-star heavenly pride, he wasn't foolish. How could a heavenly pride from another galaxy be weak? But during the period of the Battle of Heavenly Prides, he couldn't avoid the fight. "Then let's fight," the heavenly pride said. He displayed a major realm god-level sword technique, slashing a sword towards Yi Tian. Yi Tian lightly waved the blade in his hand, sending a ghostly slash in return. This slash was precisely aimed at the opponent's sword. Boom! The opponent's sword was sent flying, the immense force of the impact causing the other's blood to churn and skin to crack, severely injuring him. But the opponent didn't die. This was intentional by Yi Tian, as he had no grudge against this person and had actively challenged him, so he naturally wouldn't kill him. So strong. The person knew Yi Tian had shown mercy and immediately conceded, "I've lost." Once he conceded, some of his destiny was taken by Yi Tian and merged into his own, slightly strengthening his destiny. "I am not interested in these aquatic treasures here. I just want to know the whereabouts of the misty fish. Do you happen to know?" Yi Tian asked casually, not expecting the heavenly pride to know. But some things were just such unexpected coincidences. "The misty fish, you're looking for it too. I do know some information, but I don't recommend you go after it," the heavenly pride said. Please leave a comment and review on novel updates. You can read extra chapters at Novel YTIM Premium, link to Patreon. Chapter 400. Discovering the Misty Fish, Trading. Are you really aware of where to find a misty fish? Yi Tian was somewhat skeptical. After all, if this heavenly pride knew the whereabouts of the misty fish, why wouldn't he capture it himself? Of course, I know. But I dare not go there because several 8-star heavenly prides have sealed off that area. The misty fish is very powerful and has burrowed into an underwater cavern, making it hard to find. You are much stronger than I am, but that misty fish is said to possess a high-level time talent, capable of wielding the blade of time, which can reduce our lifespans by 100 years in a single strike. I suggest you give up on that misty fish, said the heavenly pride. Please enlighten me on its location, Yi Tian earnestly requested. If you insist on going, I'll tell you. It's over there. The heavenly pride informed Yi Tian of the area and its general vicinity. After hearing the information, Yi Tian flew towards the location. Seeing Yi Tian leave, the heavenly pride breathed a sigh of relief, fearing that Yi Tian might kill him. Fortunately, Yi Tian departed without seizing any of the water treasures. Immediately, he began collecting the water treasures. A misty fish with a high-level time talent, if encountered, would be a huge windfall. Yi Tian thought excitedly as he traveled. Basic and intermediate time talents were useless to him. He only wanted to copy high-level or higher time talents but also wished to avoid encountering beasts with pseudo-mystic level time talents. After all, he was not familiar with pseudo-mystic level time talents, and if they were too terrifying, he might fall to them. High-level and top-level time talents were undoubtedly the best options. He wasn't greedy, copying 2 high-level time talents this time would suffice. Soon, Yi Tian arrived at the area sealed off by several 8-star peerless heavenly prides. Diving underwater, Yi Tian saw a continuous underwater mountain range, within which were numerous caverns interconnected, forming a complex maze. According to that heavenly pride, the misty fish entered these caverns. Those 8-star heavenly prides followed, and probably other 6 or 7-star heavenly prides as well, Yi Tian thought. At that moment, he could even sense the distant fluctuations of battle. Boom, boom, boom. The fluctuations of yuan qi spread, shaking the underwater world and creating whirlpool storms. Although the underwater cavern was vast, if the 8-star peerless heavenly prides fought with all their might, they could destroy this area. Probably fearing the consequences, they hadn't made a real move but were searching for the misty fish's whereabouts through exploration. After all, the caverns were interconnected in many places and might lead to even deeper waters. Destroying this place and allowing the misty fish to escape elsewhere would be troublesome. Yi Tian also entered an underwater cavern, using his water phasing talent while spreading his divine sense to search for the misty fish. However, instead of finding the misty fish, he encountered a heavenly pride. Please leave immediately, the heavenly pride's voice transmitted. Yi Tian's copy talent enveloped the other, quickly identifying him. 8-star peerless heavenly pride Mo Wen. Yi Tian recognized this peerless heavenly pride because Mo Wen was one of the few 8-star peerless heavenly prides in the Moma galaxy, and he had naturally made inquiries. The misty fish isn't yours, why should I leave? Yi Tian responded. Without another word, heavenly pride Mo Wen unleashed a wood-based divine ability. Inside the underwater cavern, a forest of wood appeared, with countless vines entwining towards him, each vine filled with terrifying law power, capable of crushing easily. This wood-based divine ability was extraordinary and clearly not at an introductory level. As expected of an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, Yi Tian silently admired. Fire-based divine abilities would typically counter wood-based ones, but being underwater, fire-based divine abilities would undoubtedly be suppressed. Therefore, Yi Tian did not use the Great Flame Extinction Hand but instead used the Phantom Gold Thread divine ability. Puff, puff, puff. Strand after strand of phantom gold thread sliced through the countless vines. At the same time, Yi Tian teleported forward, unleashing a strike with the Phantom God Sword technique. This strike was delivered with his full strength. With a loud boom, heavenly pride Mo Wen was sent flying by Yi Tian's sword, sustaining injuries but he quickly recovered. Phantom Gold Thread divine ability, a super god-level sword technique. From which galaxy do you hail? Heavenly pride Mo Wen ceased his attack. Had it been a 7-star peerless heavenly pride, he might have driven the other away, but Yi Tian was also an 8-star peerless heavenly pride and somewhat stronger than him. He had no confidence in defeating Yi Tian and naturally had to cease. Milky Way's heavenly pride of 10,000 laws. Yi Tian declared his identity. The Milky Way, I've never heard of it. Heavenly pride Mo Wen shook his head. Indeed, he had never heard of the Milky Way galaxy. With so many galaxies within the pan-star field, who would care about a weak one? How did you recognize my Phantom Gold Thread divine ability? Have you seen it before? Yi Tian inquired. Heavenly pride Mo Wen responded gravely, the Phantom Gold Thread divine ability is one of the 5 elements grand divine abilities. Its fame is immense. Although I've never seen it, I've heard of the grand reputation of the 5 elements grand divine abilities. Your ability is definitely a top-tier divine ability and closely resembles the Phantom Gold Thread divine ability, so I naturally assumed it as such. He continued, with the strength of an 8-star peerless heavenly pride, you are qualified to search for the misty fish here. However, I must warn you, it's best not to attempt to destroy this underground cavern mountain range, or you will be suppressed by the world's force. This water cleansing realm has been modified by the water cleansing true lord, and its underwater environment must not be wantonly destroyed. So that's how it is. Yi Tian suddenly understood. It seems his previous guess was wrong. He thought these 8-star peerless heavenly prides were genuinely afraid of accidents happening, which is why they refrained from destroying the underwater cavern mountain range. It turns out they dared not destroy it. With a swish, Heavenly Pride Mo Wen left, diving into another cavern. Yi Tian continued his search. Time passed, and suddenly another battle's fluctuations caught Yi Tian's attention. Phasing into space, Yi Tian's body entered space, quickly moving towards the source. Soon, he arrived at the site of the battle. At that moment, he saw 2 peerless heavenly prides besieging a fierce beast. This beast was none other than the Misty Fish. This demigod-level Misty Fish was incredibly powerful, second only to an 8-star peerless heavenly pride. More importantly, these 2 peerless heavenly prides were very wary of this Misty Fish, especially afraid of its blade of time, thus fighting cautiously. After all, a Misty Fish with a high-level time talent could unleash the blade of time 10 times in a day, with each strike capable of reducing 100 years of lifespan, totaling a reduction of 1,000 years. As peerless heavenly prides, they could live up to 3,000 years, even if they were already 1,000 years old, they would still have 2,000 years of lifespan left. But with 2,000 years of lifespan, no one would want their lifespan to be reduced. The key issue was, if the Misty Fish escaped again, causing a loss of lifespan, it would not be worth it. Yi Tian's approach did not escape the notice of the 2 peerless heavenly prides. They both possessed the means to penetrate space and naturally detected Yi Tian. Among these 2 peerless heavenly prides was Heavenly Pride Mo Wen. Seeing Yi Tian, Heavenly Pride Mo Wen hurriedly said, Heavenly Pride of 10,000 laws, you possess spatial talent. Could you assist us in immobilizing this Misty Fish? Not only does this Misty Fish possess a time talent, but it also has a god-level water escape talent, making it incredibly fast underwater. Last time, it escaped from us and entered here. What's in it for me? Yi Tian asked. 100 divine crystals, plus the location of the water cleansing true lord's inheritance site. How about this deal? But you must ensure we capture this Misty Fish. Heavenly Pride Mo Wen stated. Deal. Yi Tian agreed without hesitation. This deal seemed too good for him, and he was even worried Heavenly Pride Mo Wen might regret it.